Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here and good morning. I can't believe how cheerful I'm getting in the mornings. These lives are really changing me, you guys, for real. Like, I've spent my entire life being so grumpy in the mornings, spending like the first 3 hours after I get up with one eye open, just hateful and grumpy. And yeah, you guys are changing me. Also, the new emojis. So sorry, there's a card that just came by. Might have gotten a little loud, but we do have new emojis. I added a little sassy little sunshine to go with our coffee cup because of these morning lives. So I hope that you guys like them. I love seeing you guys use them in the chat. It's so true, B Crumb. So true. I've been up since 6 today, but that was because Bentley fell asleep after school and slept the entire night. So I had to get him up and shower him this morning because he showers every night before, he goes to bed. So anyway, so we're going to watch this interview that Grizzly released yesterday. And then I think a few other places released it. But Grizzly was kind enough to put the unlisted link in her description for not only creators, anybody who wants to watch it without commentary. So we are going to watch that. And I appreciate that so much. Let me see. What did I link in the description? Oh, man. Okay. So I will go back in and link her channel in the description. And I'll also link the unlisted videos so you guys can watch it without commentary and with commentary. I'll link both of them. I appreciate her doing that. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. And we'll talk more about that kind of stuff at a later date. But let me say hello to you guys, and we're going to get right into the interview. I've been waiting for this interview. I've told you guys, I cannot wait to actually hear when she initially first found out, about the photos on his phone and stuff like that. And that's what we're going to listen to. So, hey, Angela. Hey, Sunday. Hey, Darlene. Hey, Pointer Lover. Rogue Nomad. Teacup. Hey, Alicia. Claus. Good to see you. B Crumb's barely functioning. Hey, tell the truth. Test 6 is so early. Hey, by the way. Hey, Foxy. Jen. Queen Bella. Good to see you. Hey, Weegob. Hey, Shauna. Jennifer. Mayla's mom, good to see you guys. Hey, Shauna, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably watched some of this. Hey, Seek Justice, Vintage Karma, good to see you guys. Jennifer, anybody I missed? Hey, Sarah, thank you guys for being here. Hey, Without Borders. Oh, always good to see you. It's been a minute. I hope you're doing okay. Hey, Mo. I love the way she is doing it for content creators. And if you tag her, she tries to come over and like and such. I know. It just shows you that it's not all about credit and money and all that. I don't know. It just shows you that not everyone, I don't know. It gives me faith and hope. You know what I mean? It's kindness. I appreciate that. I really do. So it is what it is. Okay. So I'm wondering if I can go in and add it while we're watching. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the interview and we're going to get started because it is like an hour and 45 minutes. So it's interesting because it starts with one officer and then it goes to 2 other ones. Remember the female officer that gave Stephan Stearns no break, no slack. She was just calling him out from the beginning. She's going to be on this for part of it, which I really liked her. I really like a lot of these officers. They did an exceptional job with this investigation. They really, really did. I was actually looking at a document this morning because some of it is familiar. So it's interesting because with their documents, there's a lot of repetitive information, but then like on 2 different documents, you might have some of the same reports and then some different ones. So it's kind of hard because you have to go through and pick out the parts that we hadn't seen. Like, for instance, they went through and asked all the different apartments, if they knew them, if they had seen Maddie, stuff like that. And it's pretty interesting. I think that we'll probably have another live to go through some of that. Today, I'm not going to. I'm going to try to resist the urge to pull up any documents that might be relevant in the discussion. So okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'll be right with you guys in the chat and talking and all that along the way, but first I just want to try to get her videos linked in the description, and then because I can't believe I didn't do that. All right, so let's press play.
Reference Orange County case 24-013113. Today is February 28th, 2024. Time is approximately 15:49 hours. Detective Acosta, located at Central Operations, conducting an interview with Jennifer Soto, and President is Detective Killis.
Are we going to the budget eventually? Most likely. Okay, that hasn't started yet? I have to check. I do not know. I've been out here. Doing okay? Holding up all right? No, I know it's not. So let's head to back to SCR. Let's go see where he's at. Yeah, you should be ready. I just gotta. So like I told you, my name is Detective Police of the Sheriff's Office. This is
Detective Acosta.
You're Jennifer, correct? And then I'm assuming, is that what I understand?
Yes, but he's actually on his way to Florida.
Okay.
He recently moved back down in December to Northport, Florida.
Okay.
His dad had offered him a job, but it fell through.
Okay.
So he's kind of stuck down.
Gotcha.
We are waiting for, he used to work at Disney.
Okay. What did you do at Disney?
He worked in attractions at Epcot.
Okay.
Red flag, red flag, red flag. You know, I was just talking to one of my family members about someone else that was working at a kid's place and doing this. It's crazy, but that is where, you know, they choose work. I'm not saying everyone that works at those places is bad either, or that you should question someone just because they work there. It's just now knowing what he's done, it's hard to not be like, wow, you're working at Disney. Like, ugh.
What was the job that his dad was trying to get him? Do you know?
Gross.
It was like construction manager or like an assistant construction manager or project manager, something like that, like an apprenticeship kind of thing.
Okay.
That fell through. So we were waiting we have to wait a specific amount of time for you to reapply to Disney again.
Okay.
From when you resigned. Right. So we're waiting for that time for him to reapply again so that he can come back up here.
Okay. So how often does he stay at the apartment with you guys?
So he was living with us up until December.
Okay.
And then he's visited us like since December twice or three times since then.
And how long does he usually stay for?
2 or 3 times. Imagine how nice that would have been for Maddie. You know what I mean? To not have to put up with him or deal with this stuff. It's just so sad that.
Anywhere from a few days to a week.
Okay. And then he goes back down there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm assuming he stays with his dad when he goes down there?
Yeah.
Okay. How long has he been in town recently?
He got into town Sunday evening.
This past Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. And he was staying with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if there's closed captioning.
And then
they're very.
I'm trying to link the in the description, but I'm dropping it in the chat, the video with no commentary. So if anybody wants to hear it like that right now, and I'm going to get it in the description, I'm determined. It's just through StreamYard where it's already started, it won't let me. So
similar. They're both very childish. Like he loves board games, video games, arts and crafts, all that stuff.
Okay.
I'm kind of a watcher.
What do you mean?
Like I won't play the games. I'll watch them play the games.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But he's more involved with that. Yeah, they're pretty great.
Okay. Do they ever go off on their own? Like you kind of do your thing and the two of them do stuff together?
Hardly ever.
Hardly ever?
It's for the most part, it's the three of us doing something.
Gotcha. And then when he stays, does he sleep on the couch, separate bedroom? What's like the sleeping arrangements like?
It depends. For the most part, he would sleep upstairs in the guest room, sleep in my bedroom downstairs.
Okay.
Sometimes he would come sleep in the bed, all three of us together.
Okay.
And rarely ever would I send them upstairs to go sleep alone away from me because I need a good night's sleep, because if we sleep all the three of us together,
Oh, I can only imagine.
it's a king bed, but
I can
it's
only
like
imagine.
she just
No. Okay, I'm not gonna pause like nonstop. I know that's frustrating, and I guess I'm not the only one who gets those comments, because when Grizzly was playing this yesterday when she premiered it, I heard her say that too. I have now fixed it where the link is in the description, so anybody who wants to listen without my commentary can. But a king size bed is pretty big, and I mean, I don't know. If your medicine knocks you out, then I just have a lot of questions about that, and not being able to get rest. It doesn't really make sense to me, you guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
She's not a small baby anymore.
no, she's not. So it's just 3 humans on a bed is really uncomfortable, really tight.
About how often was they would go, you would send them off on their own?
Unbelievable.
I would say honestly, somewhere between, I'm going to say less than 5 times has this ever happened, right?
That's
It
fine.
hasn't been that.
And this is over the course of him visiting back and forth, correct?
You mean the sleeping arrangements
Yeah.
alone?
Yeah.
No, that was including him living with us.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
hardly ever would I send them upstairs, because I had that rule that she couldn't sleep alone with him. That's just me. I'm just
Right.
very,
And then you said,
Redacted.
so you're pretty familiar with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Whose hand does that look like to you?
So here we go. And I was shocked because they get just right into it. We're 5 minutes in, and do you hear him? He says, whose hand does that look like to you? I'm actually going to try to boost this a little bit. Let's see. We'll put it up to like 280 and put the video up to that as well. Okay.
I would say that's Stephan's.
Is that Stephan's hand?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. So you and Stephan, have you guys been sexually intimate before in the past?
Hey,
Yes.
Jenn.
So you're aware of what like his penis looks like and things like that, correct?
Yes.
Does this look like Stephan's penis to you?
No.
No? Okay. What about that?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
The first one, she says no. And now we know that he has like a specific mark on it. You know, so it's kind of weird. Again, I just dropped the link with no commentary. PB&J says, I don't care which way she puts it. It's all wrong having him in the bed with her daughter, whether it's a toddler bed or a king size bed. Wrong. I agree. Hey, chicken lady. I don't like it either. Hey, crafty Chris. Hey, Grandma Sherry. I hope that you're doing okay. I'm so sorry that what you're going through. And I'm thinking about you. Please be careful on your way to the doctor. We love you here, Grandma Sherry. I saw your post like in the middle of the night when I woke up at one point. Yeah, so just thinking about you. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Helen. All right, let's keep going. That was important.
Yeah,
So you're thinking that's his penis?
might be.
Okay.
Okay.
If anything, it's not even the penis I'm recognizing, it's the things around it.
So it's the things around it that make you believe it's his penis?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have these images, and unfortunately, over the last maybe 2 or 3 years, he's been doing
We know it's longer than that
oral
now.
sex, vaginal sex, and things like that.
What makes you guys?
We have photos.
Okay.
We had his phone. We were able to get into his phone. And there are some very, very unfortunate graphic pictures of him conducting various sexual acts with. I wish I could tell you this was all a made-up story, but it's not. Did you ever suspect anything like this? No? You okay? Okay. Can I get you anything?
Maybe some water.
Some water? If you want to stay. Yeah.
All right, you guys. So we got to go back and listen to that again. I'm sorry. We have to hear that one more time. For me, I need to hear something multiple times, number one, to really fully absorb it all. And there are certain parts that, I may need to hear an extra time or two, honestly.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that's his penis?
Might be.
Okay.
He said,
if anything, it's not even the penis I'm recognizing, it's the things around it.
So it's the things around it that make you believe it's his penis?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have these images.
Water. Right, Helen?
And unfortunately, over the last maybe 2 or 3 years, he's been doing oral sex, vaginal sex, and things like that.
What makes you guys?
We have photos.
Okay.
We have his phone. We were able to get into his phone. And there are some very, very unfortunate graphic pictures of him conducting very sexual acts with. I wish I could tell you this was all a made-up story, but it's not. Did you ever suspect anything like this? No? You okay? Okay. Can I get you anything?
I'm in shock right now. She says that pretty quietly. Now, remember, a couple days later, March 1st, she has the interview with Detective Kevin. And that's when it's right after this, today, this interview we are listening to right now, that she leaves and tells his dad to get him a lawyer. Okay, right after this. After she hears and sees all of this, her thoughts are, get him a lawyer, okay? Which is just maddening. Apparently, Detective Kevin didn't understand that either, because he asked her, what? Why in the hell are you worried about getting him a lawyer after you first see those pictures? Because we had talked about this. We knew that Chris, his dad, told police that, but we didn't know exactly if it was true or why she said it, and we were kind of giving our theories. Now we know why. She said she believed that the sex stuff could have been true. But at this point, after this interview, she still believed they had the wrong guy as far as who took Maddie's life or who kidnapped Maddie at this point or whatever she thought happened to Maddie at this point. Just let that sink in. After this, she calls his dad and says, you need to get him a lawyer. This is bad. They're focusing on the wrong guy. I think they have the wrong guy. Keep that in mind. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I'm getting fired up already. I'm going to try to keep it together.
Some water? Some water? If you want to stay. Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
I can't breathe.
Is this a surprise?
Is there photos of her?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you know how we have his phone? Obviously, that's how we were able to find the photos in there.
I just want to say, I don't believe, am I correct? He's represented by a public defender. So I don't think his dad did, but at the end of the day, I just wanted you guys to remember where we're at in the timeline, what happens after this, and, that kind of thing.
I don't want to believe that this is true. Can I see some of that evidence?
What makes you believe that it's not?
Hold up. Let's go back.
I don't want to believe that this is true. Can I see some of that evidence?
What makes you believe that it's not?
I thought I knew them well enough.
You said you thought you knew him well enough?
I think the cop's almost in shock too, right? He's like, huh? Like, what is even happening here? Hey, Shay. Good to see you, babe. Drive safe. If he was able to get away with this right under her nose for years without her knowing, then why is it hard for her to believe that he, the last person to see her, couldn't have done this? Angela, I don't know. Because, I mean, I think as soon as police found these photos, they were focused on him for good reason, you know? And then Undead says, oh, she explained it as he did the sex stuff, but he didn't do anything evil like murder her. So she thought he deserved defense. You're right. She did. She said, you know, I believed that the sex stuff was true, but I didn't think he had done anything evil to her. I believe that's pretty much her exact quote.
So our goal, we want to find her. Can you think of anything of where Stephan would take her? Did they have any special hangout spots? Did they have any places that they would do together while you were at work or you had other things going on in your life?
The only place they would go is hang out at home. There's no place I can think of that they've gone outside. I mean, they've gone shopping to like Target before.
Okay. But anywhere else that you can think of? What are you thinking about right now?
That's okay, Helen.
How this can be true? How I missed the signs?
What signs are you saying you missed?
No, like I'm just saying, if there were any signs, I didn't see any.
Right. Like these aren't, and I'm not telling you, like, these aren't just Google images that we found. Like, these are actual images. And I don't want you to, I don't. But this investigation has taken us down this road.
Meaning he took them, Jen. Like, these are real pictures that he took. Oh, Lord have mercy.
So wherever you think right now, we want to know so we can go get her safely.
Of course, I just have no idea.
Did Stephan ever take her back down to Newport Richie?
Newport, Florida.
Newport, Florida. I'm sorry.
Alone, no.
Alone? You guys would go together?
Yeah. Or I would drive down, just hang out.
Okay. So when Stephan would not stay at the house with you guys, where else would he stay?
In his apartment in his house in Northport, Florida. That's it.
But when he would visit here, he would always stay in your house. He would never go get a hotel or stay at a friend's house or anything like that.
No, stay at our place.
Okay. Why did he go to Newport, Florida this morning?
This morning?
Yeah.
Hey, Riley.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious. I heard a rumor that he possibly went down there.
No.
I don't know. Them is maybe lost in translation.
No, he didn't. We were in the hotel. If anything, he stepped out to go get some Wawa.
Okay.
And then came back.
But how long was he gone for?
Um,
Does he have a new
Listen
phone?
to this.
Since we have his, or?
I think his dad may have handed him a new phone.
Okay. Do you know the phone number to that new phone?
No.
Okay. What's his dad do?
Works in real estate. I think he's a pro.
Oh, okay. That's at another part. You know, she goes on to say he went to Wawa and he got lost because he didn't have his phone, which we know he got the new phone, but he said he didn't have his phone, so he didn't have GPS. It's like Jenn believes anything he fucking says. It's pretty crazy. I want to read this comment, though, to you guys. For some people who may not be watching chat or whatever, just listening as they go. Riley says, good morning. I'd like to share a similar personal experience. My husband caught two cousins doing very inappropriate things at our house because of a camera we have. Neither parent wanted to see the video. That's interesting. And I mean, we know everybody's different, but thank you for sharing because, I don't know that I don't have any experience with a situation like that. So I always appreciate you guys when you do. Hey, Bendy, eating at Wawa should be jail time. It's gross. I've never been there. I think she's pretending to not know what was going on to save herself, T. Michelle says. Angela says, I think she is nervous about getting in trouble. She perks up when she realizes the focus is all on Stephan. Also thinks she wanted to see the pics to see what they had. Hey, Holly, good to see you. Holly says, it just seems so convenient. That was the night she needed good sleep, even though she didn't have to work the next day, but did have to get up for blood work and possibly Botox. I'm sorry, but what parent gets good sleep? When you have kids, it ain't about you anymore. Get over it. I'm sorry. Guess what? Like, you could sleep in between when she leaves from school, before your appointment, whenever. But at the end of the day, it's not about you anymore. Period. Suck it up, buttercup. Pull your big girl britches up and keep on going. It might not be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's hard. It's hard as hell sometimes being a parent. But you do it. You don't put off the responsibilities on somebody else. Period. In my opinion, that's just me. See, look, I haven't slept good since 1995, Jen says. Sarah says, I have 4 kids. I haven't slept in 13 years. Exactly. When my kids go to bed at night, that's like, I try so hard to stay up just to listen to a podcast, watch people on YouTube, watch something on TV, just to have the quiet time. And I really zone out and disconnect from the world and just love my quiet alone time. So I make myself stay up. A lot of times I pass out I'll fall asleep trying to stay up. But I try, and I will force myself to stay up. And then I get up very early with them. So I have even less sleep, but I really like my alone time. At the end of the day, none of us, I'm sorry, it's just not about you anymore when you become a parent. If you can't handle that, I don't know if you even understand what being a parent is. And that's just my opinion.
So
Chick.
we just need any information. Any.
No, I know, but there's nothing I can give you. There's nothing I can.
Did you communicate with Stephan on the new phone with your phone? No.
I just want to. I believe you. I want to believe you, but I won't believe you until I see actual.
Are you sure you want to see that? I'll go get it. Are you sure you want to see that?
I think everybody's different. Some parents would probably want to see just to know for sure. I think I would, even though it would be tough to see. If anything happened to my kids, I would need to see every detail of all of it because I want to know. I could not fathom someone else knowing more about my child in any way than me. I don't want the police to know more about what happened to my kid than me. No, I would need to know. I hope and pray I'm never in that situation, and we don't actually know till we're there. But, I think probably you guys probably all feel differently about that. I'm not really sure. Because Riley said that her cousin's parents didn't want to see. I don't know. You guys let me know, though, how you think that you would feel in that instance.
Take my word of advice. I wouldn't
What
you know,
is
blow smoke up your butt and tell you, you know, that's a fake picture. I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I'll be more than happy to show you those images, but I don't know if I would want to see those. But if you want to see them, that's your own prerogative.
Can you tell me what's being done in the photos?
She has a penis in her mouth. And that picture that you said that the stuff identified that Stephan's penis around her, I zoomed in on that photo because in that picture, it's in her mouth.
Can you imagine?
Do you need any more water? Are you okay?
It's true Sunday.
I literally thought I was coming here for the press conference, but this is not what we're here for.
I know. And it's unfortunate that, you know, these are the details that we found, but I think it's very important now that we kind of sit back, evaluate everything, and kind of think every step of the way where Stephan.
That is her foot tapping. That is her shaking something. And let me know, do y'all hear the vibration? Because like it's tricking me. Like I feel like I don't know. I keep thinking that like something is vibrating at my house. Like on this little table where I have the computer setting. That's kind of how my phone sounds like when we're live, but it's not. So it has to be the video. And then, yes, that's her tapping her phone.
In the past, we're back, evaluate everything, and kind of think every step of the way.
Or, you know, something.
Where Stephan has been in the past, where be right now, because at the end of the day, we want to go get her.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God. If I knew anything, I would tell you. I just have no fucking idea where you could be.
So I know that. Say again, I'm sorry.
Or any idea where she could be. I said they, but
yeah,
he's here. Was there any the video footage that was caught at the church? What exactly was seen? I've heard from other people, but I just.
Do you know much?
It looked like someone that walked by, but it's inconclusive. Right, it was too grainy. The video was not. You couldn't determine who it was in the video, pretty much. So we don't know that she walked by that church.
Now remember, at this point, there was a possibility when Jenn's sister watched this surveillance that they thought it could possibly be Maddie. So it makes sense that she would be asking about that.
So the last person.
I want to hear her asking those questions. You know?
So we want to know because he's the last person to see her. He claims to have dropped her off at this church before school. Unfortunately,
close to the church.
Close to the church. You know, unfortunately, we know she doesn't go to school that day. You try and go pick her up. What did after Stephan dropped her off? Did he come back home? About how long was he gone for during drop off?
I want to say from 8:30 to like 10:15 because around 10:15 or 10:20 is when I got a phone call stating that he got home. He had gone to the vape shop, but I don't know if they weren't open or not yet. So he left.
Okay.
And then hung out around the house and waited till I got back for my doctor's appointment.
So he came back home.
Yeah, he did come back home.
Okay.
He grabbed his phone and called me from the house at that point. He had let me know that he accidentally left his phone. He was waiting for the vape store to open, but they never opened, or something like that. And then he went back home just to give it time, and then he went back out later.
Okay. So from 8:30 to 10:15, that's when he's saying the vape shop was closed and he came back home?
I think so. Something. I mean, I know he was killing time. He does this. He'll just like to aimlessly drive around to kill time. I believe him when he says that he was killing time. Or at least I did believe him.
What's like usually, how long does it take to go do her drop off and come back?
Like 45 minutes.
Okay. So
45, 50 minutes.
So give or take an hour.
Yeah.
So he should have been back home by like 9:30ish.
Yeah.
Okay. But then there's like 45 minutes to 30 minutes of a gap in time there.
Yeah.
Where could he have gone?
He says he was driving around aimlessly, just killing time.
Okay. So then he comes home, let's just say around 10:15 is what you're saying. What time did you get home from your doctor's appointment?
I'm gonna say somewhere between 11, 11:20.
And then did he leave again?
Yes.
How do you know he was home? Because you got the call.
Because I got the call and I think I saw him when I got home.
Okay. And then what time did he leave again to go to the vape shop?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure what time he left.
And then
Actually, hold on, let me think.
do you guys have a ring at your house? A ring doorbell? Do you have any video doorbell system? Do you have any cameras in the house?
No.
But thank God there were lots and lots of cameras everywhere else.
I'm gonna say he left around somewhere between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, because I remember looking at the time going, I don't think he's going to be done in time running his errands to be back by 2:30 when I need to leave to go.
Okay.
And he said he ran his errands. He stopped at a few comic shops or game stores or something like that. Then he got a flat tire somewhere on 182. He doesn't remember exactly where. I remember him telling me he hurt himself changing the spare tire.
How did he hurt himself?
Something slipped while he was.
If someone you know goes missing and the last person seen with them suddenly has injuries to their hands, arms, face, neck, chest, that's also a big, giant red flag.
Doing something with what's the crank that pops up that brings
the lift or
yeah. You know what I'm talking
the
about.
jack?
Something slipped and his finger got caught between the frame and the jack, I think. So
Okay.
he had to pull out his finger. So I know he's had a Band-Aid on his finger right now because of that.
So what time do you leave the house to go?
I think his
2:30?
Yeah, she gets out at 4. It takes me about 20 minutes to get to school, and then I wait about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, for the car line and everything.
Yeah.
Why do you wait an hour and 10 minutes at school pickup? I mean, that's so irrelevant, but Like, I pull in like 5 minutes before they come out. That's kind of weird. I don't know.
Okay.
I like to be the first in line.
So at what point did you think something's up?
Around 4:10 when she did not come out of school and I was the first in line. I was holding up the line. I was on the first in line and there's cars behind me and they already have their kids.
Right.
So when I noticed she had not come out, I drove away thinking maybe I missed her. Maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up from school today because I have a new work schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So
what do you do for work again? I'm sorry.
I work at Walt Disney World, front desk concierge at Coronado Springs.
Okay.
I just recently, that's the biggest reason I even called Stephan, was to come help me this week with her getting her to school, helping with the dog. That's the whole reason I even called him was to come help me.
And what car did he come up in from down there in?
In his dad's Cadillac.
Okay. All right. So you kind of get some concerns when she's not coming out.
She's not coming out, so I drove off along the same path she would have walked. I didn't see her.
Again, I've told you guys this before, but I have to say it. She didn't come out, so I drove off and drove the same path she would have walked. Like, I don't know, I would have went inside, and then you would have immediately found out for sure if she was there or not that day at all, period. But also, what if she was in the bathroom sick? I don't know. That is so odd to me that you wait an hour, 10 minutes. She doesn't come out. You don't go inside. You don't ask the teachers. You don't ask the adults. You simply drive off and drive the path she walked. I mean, again, we're all different, but that is another thing that's just really weird to me.
She here yet? She goes, no. And I said, oh, maybe I missed her. Maybe.
Does she sometimes walk home from school?
Yeah, she does.
To, and then you pick her up from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't make it. So I drove back to. I think at this point I had called her best friend to ask because I went to pick her up from school and I didn't see her.
Right.
And she said, no, she never made it to first or second period.
Okay.
And I was like, can you please check with your other friends to see if she made it to her other periods?
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point I emailed her teacher.
Right. Snapchat?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. She just has an Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. So, office, you realize she's not there either. Is this when you go home?
No, I go back to the school drive the path again to see if I missed her. And then I go back to the school to check their attendance because her friends are telling me she never made it. But when I got to the school was already closed.
Mm-hmm.
So I drove back. I think at this point I had gotten a response from one of her teachers telling me she never made it to my period, and then he checked the attendance for the rest of the day. She never made it to any of the periods.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is when I started to panic and freak out because I know something is wrong. Sorry, I just thought about that image.
It's okay. Take your time. What was Stephan's reaction when you?
I called him and I said, she never made it to school. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, she got dropped off. I was like, you dropped her off? She never made it to school.
Mm-hmm.
I said, please come to the office right now. And he goes, okay, I'm heading there right now. So he hauled ass came to the office.
And you're driving your car and he was driving his car?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he made it to the office and then we saw where she might be.
Mm-hmm.
We were both sitting there pretty upset, pretty distraught, just thinking of the worst case scenarios. Eventually, we found out that there were also 2 other missing children in the area, and that all the cops had gone to a park. So one of my family members went to the park to speak to an officer, to try to get an officer to come back to the office, and he did. And then he took a report.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, we did see this. There is a body cam footage of them waiting, and we do hear the police talking about other missing kids as well at the time.
That was about 7:30, I think.
Monday night?
Yeah.
And what's Stephan's kind of demeanor been since then?
Kimberly, you are so right.
Absolutely a mess.
Hey, Chip.
Do you think he would ever?
I don't think he would, no.
Okay. Understand.
Like I believe you when you talk to me about those images.
Mm-hmm.
Those images might be real, or they've happened, but I don't believe they're related to this case.
Wait a minute. I can't believe at this point. I was getting ready to go in the house and get a water. But whoa, hold on. I believe you when you tell me about these images, but I don't believe they're related to this case. Oh my God.
It's been going.
Those images might.
Hold on.
I believe you when you talk to me about those images.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey,
those
Melissa,
images might be real, or they've happened, but I don't believe they're related to this case. I don't think.
It's been going on. It's been going on.
Oh my God. Hey, Melissa. I went to say, hey, Melissa, and I was reading your comment as I was saying it, and I said, hey, Roro again. So I'm sorry, but okay. I don't know. That just seems so unnatural to me. And I just have to keep reminding myself, like, everyone handles things differently. But how could you find out about this situation that had been going on for years? That's the last person with your daughter. He has an injury. He has this flat tire. And you still are sitting there telling police, I don't think it's related to this case. It's really hard to understand that. Kelly?
Like, and I wish I could say, it's not true. It's not. I mean, we have images. We have them. I looked at them. This goes all the way back to 2022. Some of those pictures.
It actually goes back to 2020. We know now. Kelly says, minutes after Jenn saw SA pics, she texted SS needs a lawyer. She was still on that couch. That's what I was saying at the beginning. Keep in mind that directly after this interview, and this is just the beginning. We still have a ways to go, you guys, but directly after this, she calls his dad and says he needs a lawyer. You need to get him a lawyer. They're focusing on the wrong guy. It wasn't a angry, get him a lawyer because his ass is done, like we wondered if that could have been. No, because she admits in the video interview that at that point she wanted him to get him a lawyer because she thought, I believed the sex stuff, but I didn't think he would do anything evil to her. That was exactly her answer when the police pressed her on why in the hell do you see photos like that of your daughter being abused, and your first thought is, let me get the abuser an attorney.
I understand it's a lot to take in right now. I can only imagine what you're going through.
I don't know why when I do this sometimes, like, it takes away my volume. You guys can probably still hear it, but I'm going to have to pull it up on another window and switch over. That is so frustrating. We're at 24:47.
I understand it's a lot to take in right now. I can only imagine what you're going through, but we need to know literally everything.
I'm going to rewind it about 10 seconds, 20 seconds, actually.
True, it's not. I mean, we have images. We have them. I looked at them. This goes all the way back to 2022. Some of those pictures. I understand it's a lot to take in right now. I can only imagine what you're going through, but we need to know literally everything. At the end of the day, like I've told you many, many times, the sheriff's office main goal here, we want to find and bring her back home. That's what we want. But we need your help. We can only do so much. You're with her on a daily basis. You understand everything. But at the end of the day, we just need to know. Did he make any mention of going anywhere, taking her somewhere when he came into town? I know you said they like to play games together.
No, he wasn't taking her going anywhere right now.
Okay. And prior to coming up Sunday, when's the last time he's been here?
I'm gonna say it's been over a month.
Okay. Has she ever made any comments to you about sex or anything like that? Being abused or anything like that? Hold on one second.
That vibrating noise is not turn it off. Like, how is it not distracting them? I don't know. You
Turn
guys
it off.
can hear it. What'd she say there?
So there might have been a little bit of miscommunication here.
Now, I think that Grizzly, when that arrow went on the screen, she described that she had to take some edit. She made some edits. She did not erase like anybody's words, but there were some long breaks and some long redactions. So instead of just leaving it in, she just edited that out.
But a Kissimmee police officer detective is going to come speak to you about everything that we just talked about, okay?
Okay.
So they're going to come talk to you with an Orange County detective. So I don't want to go too much further into it with you because they're going to go a little bit deeper. They know a lot more than I do. Okay. So they'll be able to explain a little bit more to you. Is that fair? In the meantime, do you need to use the bathroom or anything?
Marjorie, I missed it. Is that what she
It's okay. Take your time. Do you need any more water? Okay.
Wow, that cop, he's very kind. In a very hard to understand situation.
Can we hear the interview?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're not going to have to go anywhere.
So the interesting thing is they don't start a new recording. They're together. So we're going to hear the other cops come in and they're going to repeat some stuff and, press her on some stuff. It's interesting though. Ellie, I'm not sure actually. Maybe because where she's at, you have the open record. Also, American crimes just seem to get a lot
I don't
more
want to see those
even
images.
world news.
I feel like I need proof evidence, but like I'm afraid of being traumatized forever, so I'm not sure what to do.
That's okay. And the Kissimmee detective, we'll go over everything with you, okay?
Michelle. MK, no. No.
Can I get you
Hey,
anything?
by the way. Really, NY?
How long have you been working at Coronado Springs for?
Thank you.
Less than 2 weeks.
Oh, so you just started there?
Yeah.
Are you just like in training or how does it work?
Yeah,
What'd you do before that?
I was a substitute teacher for a little bit, but for the most part, for the last few years, I've just been living off disability.
Okay.
Well, interesting, Elaine. That's what I was thinking.
I'll be right back.
I wonder if she's faster with it or... Yeah. Interesting.
You okay? It's your head?
No, just a lot of anxiety. Just thinking about how I didn't know, how I didn't see anything. Let's say all the sexual stuff did happen, or we know it happened.
Okay.
What if he's telling the truth about dropping her off and driving away and driving around in circles and getting to the vape shop? Is there video evidence of him in front of the vape store? Because I know there's banks around, right in that same plaza. And an Amscot. There must be video of him pulling into that plaza and waiting.
What do you mean? What's your question?
Maria. Wow.
If you guys have found evidence of him being in front of the store like he said he was, like it's possible that his story might be true and somebody else could have taken her. Like I'm just thinking, like, what if we're focusing, like, okay, the sex things happened, right? But what if that's completely a side thing and not having to do with this, like her missing?
Yeah.
What if
I got you.
else...
So just like Detective Khalees explained, that's why the Kissimmee detective and the Orange County detective are going to come and talk to you about it. Obviously, it's two different things that we're talking about, but they may be tied together. They may not. We're not.
I know. You guys, I don't understand it. It is so very hard to understand. And look, if you have the opposite opinion, I know many people are very angry. I feel like everybody has a right to their opinion, no matter how you feel. So, you know, but I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm shocked and blown away at how your mind could work this way. And I don't know.
Not sure, but that's why we want to talk to you and get as much information as possible. That's what the detectives are going to come and talk to you and, try to help us out and get as much information.
Am I allowed to talk to my sister right now?
Right now, just hang on for right now until after they're done.
I think I'm at the press conference.
Now I sound like her sighing. And
can you tell me you weren't there?
She was very concerned about missing the press conference too, which, how do you guys feel about that? Actually, let me just say that first.
I just want to know what was said at the press conference. What did I miss?
They'll let you know. What are you worried about that you missed?
Nothing, just if there's a new piece of information that I haven't heard or something. But I know you guys are keeping me in the loop as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep hoping. Just hoping she's still out there and she's still alive. I don't think Stephan would have done anything to her. But
yeah, it is. Exactly, Sarah. That's kind of what I was thinking. He's giving you the new info and you're disregarding it, in my opinion, Jenn, Tess says. Again, she took out a lot of the redacted part.
I just got a text from Stephan's dad asking where he could, because I guess he was at the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's just waiting.
Okay.
He's asking where he can wait.
He can wait either in the...
So I'm thinking they had two press conferences, one on February 28th and one on March 1st. But I'm not sure about that. That's just like, I need to double check and look it up.
The front it's the west lobby. So it's the one where the big flagpoles are in. It's the main entrance. Or he can wait in the car.
In the west lobby, the main entrance with all the flags?
Yeah, with the big flagpoles. It's the one that says Orange County Sheriff's Office right at the front. It's on the easiest way to find it. It's on the Colonial Drive side.
wouldn't be worried about Stephan's dad either. I'm sorry.
Is Colonial Drive just
But
right
whatever.
here?
That's
It's not the one that you guys came through. It's the other one, the one that goes east to west.
He says that's where he is with Sailor.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Hello, my name is Mark. I work with the Kissimmee Police Department. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I love that woman. She
That's
is.
your work phone?
She's great.
Is that what?
But that's the.
Okay, thank you.
So the reason I am here, or we are here, is because we think when it went missing, you live in our city limits. Okay.
Yes, Maria.
So that's the reason we got involved now.
So Maria, they showed her some photos, and now we have these other detectives coming in, and they're going to talk more about that and they're going to talk more about everything. This is kind of like, I'll just let it play and you guys will hear, but it's basically like a new interview, like two separate interviews connected, but both about the same things.
Okay, you understand?
Yeah.
All right, so I understand you probably answered a lot of questions and you've got a lot of stuff going on. I am apologizing now. I may ask you the same things that you've already been asked. That's just because I like to hear it for myself, okay? And I know you've been speaking with her quite a bit, but we want to do what we can as soon as possible, okay? So that's our main focus right now, all right? So, but before I get started, your first name is Jennifer, right?
Yes.
And your last name is?
Soto.
So, what's your telephone number?
718
Okay,
938
okay.
1553.
And you live, what apartment number is that?
Building.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, and once again, I apologize. So on Monday, you've gone to school. Is that right?
And
Okay.
Maddie's name is her dad.
So tell me how that morning went. Actually, let's go the night prior.
Okay.
So,
So night prior, she had a birthday party. I couldn't be there because I was at work.
where do you work at?
Disney World. I'm front desk at Coronado Springs.
Okay.
She had a birthday party. She had a good time. She spent the entire time with my family. Later that evening around 8:30, my sister dropped her off at my house. And she started getting ready for bed, or doing her nighttime routine, which is take her meds and get in the shower. About 10 minutes after she arrived, Stephan arrived. And he let me know that she was doing what she was supposed to be doing. He arrived. He made sure she was doing what she needed to be doing. I got home around 10:30 and saw that she was almost ready for bed. I ate. We talked for a little bit. Asked how the birthday party was to show me her gifts, how everything went, and then she went to bed.
And this is around, you said around 10:30 she went to bed?
Around 11.
11, okay.
At this point, I sent them. We have 2 bedrooms. We're a 4-bedroom townhouse, but there's a bedroom and a guest bedroom.
Okay.
I sent them upstairs to the guest bedroom because I had not slept well the night before.
I sent them upstairs to the guest bedroom. Nope, not today. You are not. Okay, so we just started this new interview. You could actually stay right here with us, watch this, and then if you want to, you can go back and listen at the beginning. She's talking with a different detective from a different police department. Also, the link is in the description of the live for this interview without any commentary. So after we got done, you could go listen to the beginning there. too. Matter of fact, I'll drop it again in the chat as we're listening.
I'd forgotten my psychiatric meds and I was feeling off. I was not feeling okay. So when I got home from work, I said, guys, I needed a good night's sleep. They all wanted to sleep in my bed, all three of us together.
Okay. Is that normal?
Yeah, for us to do. And then she went to bed.
And this is around, you said around 10:30 she went to bed?
Around 11.
11, okay.
At this point, I sent them, we have 2 bedrooms. We're a 4-bedroom townhouse, but there's a bedroom and a guest bedroom.
Okay.
I sent them upstairs to the guest bedroom because I had not slept well the night before. I had forgotten my psychiatric meds and I was feeling off. I was not feeling okay. So when I got home from work, I said, guys, I needed a good night's sleep. They all wanted to sleep in my bed, all 3 of us together.
Okay. Is that normal?
Yeah, for us to do that, yeah.
Okay.
When he
Is that
sleeps with me, if he's around, he'll sleep upstairs sometimes in the guest bedroom or with us in our bed. But the 3 of us on my bed is pretty uncomfortable. It's a king. Sleeps like a monkey. She just kicks and punches.
1 or 2, I know.
Yeah. Chill up on one side and wake up on the other. It's just, yeah. So I asked them to sleep upstairs that night to give me a good night's sleep. And they said, okay, they would. And from what as far as I'm aware, they went upstairs. They went to sleep. I was woken up around, I want to say 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday by Stephan trying to put the leash on the dog to walk him. And I got up to try to help him with it, but Stephan got it and walked him and told me to go back to bed. So I went back to bed.
Okay.
I heard people in the kitchen. I'm not sure exactly who because I do have roommates.
so? And he told me to go back to bed, so I went back to bed. Now remember, she actually had a slightly different story when she first reported Maddie missing, and she explains why she did that in the video interview. That it basically said, someone said, tell what you saw. So she said, I started with I saw. Because she did at first say that she had seen Maddie. But Bogart, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and you're awesome. Thank you.
And they're up at all hours. So I heard somebody in the kitchen. I assume for school. On her nightstand, I know she walked into the kitchen, into her bedroom to get ready and all that because she left her phone on her dresser in her bedroom. And I know she did that while she was getting ready that morning.
Now, what is considered her bedroom? Where?
In the living room.
Okay.
We've got like a little wall partition. And she's got a bedroom in the living room. It's got a bed, a dresser, a desk, and a TV. She doesn't sleep there though. She just hangs out there during the day. That's her space.
Her space. Okay.
She'll hang out there.
We've seen that.
But yeah, she got ready, supposedly, and they were off. They left to school early. I'm not sure what time they left.
What time does her school start, do you know?
She's got to be at school at the latest by 9:28.
Do you know what time her school starts?
9:28.
Okay. Okay.
From what I was told, he dropped her off somewhere between 8:30 and 8:45, or somewhere along that line, around that time.
And Stephan told you this?
Actually, that timeline might be from what the cameras, the church cameras you guys have told me about, but we don't know if that was really her, so I'm not sure about the timeline anymore. He said he went, I think he had given me a timeline of, he dropped her off somewhere between 8:20 and 8:45, but he's not sure exactly what time.
Okay.
He said they were making good time that morning. He was like super impressed with how quickly she got up, got ready, and was out the door. I know she wanted to meet up with her friends at school early, and I know
Did she tell you that?
yeah,
Okay.
and I know she wanted McDonald's early that morning for breakfast.
Mhm.
But Stephan said she was asleep in the car for the majority of the car ride, and he kept trying to talk to her and talk her into getting McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
But she kept saying, no, just drop me off. So this is where she got dropped off somewhere on the road, close to school, and then I don't know what happened to her. But this is what I was being told happened that morning.
Gotcha. And then you went to pick her up after school. Is that right?
Yeah. I left the house at 2:30. School does not let out till 4 o'clock, but it takes me about 20 minutes to drive, 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wait that hour outside. I like being the first car in line. I like being the first.
Through the line, if you know.
Exactly. So I like, I waited that hour and something minutes for 4 o'clock to show. 4:04 is when the bell rings. Waited there until like 4:10 and she didn't come out. That only sounds like a few minutes, but in those few minutes, the cars behind me got full of children. I'm the first in line, so there's cars behind me already picking up their children. They're waiting to get out.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt pressured and rushed. So I decided to drive away. I'm like, she's not here, something's wrong. Or maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up. Maybe she just decided to walk. She'll do this sometimes. This is pretty close to the school. So I decided to drive along the path that she would have walked. And I asked, has she made it? And they said, no. And I said, okay, let me drive the path again and see if I see her along the way. Drive along the path, I park on the road where she would be walking, and I waited there for about 15 minutes and nothing. She didn't appear.
Avery.
At this point, I returned back to the office. She should have been at the office by this point. It's like 4:35.
Mm-hmm.
She did not appear. So at this point, I call her best friend and I asked her best friend, with you, I don't think I told her I was coming to pick her up, but she's not walking or she's not at school. And she said, no, she never made it to first or second period. And I said,
Mrs. Bendover, yeah, I was saying that during the first interview that was connected to this one. Just doesn't make a lot of sense. And for people who came in late, she actually was at the school waiting for a little over an hour and 10 minutes, she said. Maddie didn't come out, in her words, so I drove off and drove the path she would have walked home. It's kind of weird, but not to be too repetitive, but just because you had brought it up.
I said, what do you mean she got dropped off? And she's like, she never made it to first or second period. I said, can you please check with your other friends to see if she made it to her other periods? At this point, I start panicking and I drive back to the school to check her attendance, but the school office had already closed. So
What time was this?
This was around 4:45.
Okay.
And
the school was closed already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think they closed at like 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the school, I rang the bell. They were closed. Nobody was opening the door. So we decided to leave. But I had already emailed one of her teachers. I think when I had spoke to her best friend, I had emailed the teacher. The teacher confirmed that she never made it to his period and never made it to any of her other periods that day. He checked her attendance for the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
When he told me this, I realized something was really wrong. It's truly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
A panic attack.
And what time was this?
I want to say around 4:45, 4:50.
Okay.
And yeah, I called Stephan. I asked Stephan, I'm like, did you drop her off? He said, yeah, why? I'm like, she never made it to school. He's like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. Just, she's not here. She's not here.
He's like, what do you mean? Can you imagine him? I'm sorry, I cannot see him being that good of an actor. Look at how he acted in his interview, which we actually haven't went through that yet here. Maybe we will. I don't know if I'll go through it all or just clip certain parts. But regardless, I just think that I would know by his tone right away. What do you mean? Okay, let's keep listening.
And he drove
Maybe I'm wrong,
to
but,
the office and then waited with me. I was having a panic attack, trying to stay calm, but it was really hard. I think we waited about 3 hours for the police to show up. I think 2 children had gone missing around the same time in a park nearby, so all the cops were answering that call. Eventually, a family member went over to the park and spoke to an officer and let him know, hey, there's another missing child. Please come take the report.
Mhm.
So they followed him and brought him to the office, and then he took down our statements and made the report, and then the process started. They were there for, I'm gonna say 1 to 2 hours, and then it was time to go home.
Okay. So ever since then, since the officer took the report, or the deputy took the report, have you been looking for? Have you been driving around?
I've been staying at home just in case she comes home.
Okay.
My family, I have a huge family.
Mhm.
They've been driving around. They've been walking the walking path behind the school. They've been handing out. They've handed out like 1,000 flyers already.
Mhm.
They're the ones who contacted the news.
Has she gone missing before?
Never.
She's never ran away, even if it's.
Seems like Jen's family was very active. They loved Maddie a lot. They were, they're the ones who threw the birthday party for her the day before. They were calling the news. They were calling 911. It seems to me like they basically took over and did everything. You know what I mean? Also, B Crumbs, I completely agree. We do need to go over his. And at the end of the day, we have to remember he is the one charged here. Everyone has a right to be angry with Jenn. I've told you guys, I do believe that impact outweighs intentions, especially when someone loses their life, and especially when they lose their life in such a violent way after being abused for years. It does matter what the choices that you make. It does. But at the end of the day, he is the one who has been charged with her murder and all of the other charges, the 60 other charges. But, so I think that's what we'll probably do next, because he doesn't need to get a break at all. We need to be calling his ass out for all the dumb shit he says as well.
For a couple hours or anything like that? Okay. So when you physically or talked to her, it was the night before.
Yes.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay. And how was she then? What was her demeanor?
Happy. She had the best birthday party.
Mhm.
She loved her presents, her gifts. She had a lot of money.
Mhm.
So she was showing me all that. Yeah.
Okay. So how was her sleeping habits? I know you said she was up and at 'em in the morning. Is she, because some kids like to sleep all day, some kids get up and then they're ready to go. What's she like?
So when she sleeps with me and I have to wake her up, she's difficult. She'll snooze 3-4 times. We'll hit the alarm a few times, let it ring, and then go back to sleep. And let it ring and go back to sleep. When it's her waking up herself and she sets her own alarms on her phone, which is what I think she did that morning, she usually gets up pretty quickly. She doesn't snooze. She'll get up.
Which I think she did that morning. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that I think that she woke up that morning. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I hope that we will, if he goes to trial, we're going to get a tighter timeline, as well as seek justice. Sandra, she says, Allie, I'm sorry. Has it been confirmed that her timeline is true and matches everything, phone calls and cameras? So, no, I was thinking about this yesterday. I would absolutely love to see what they got when they did the search warrants on their phones, the reports. Hopefully we will get that. I don't know. That's probably going to be something they hold until trial, but I could be totally wrong. Oh. Sorry, I'm muted because the UPS truck came by and it was loud. But yeah, so I really, really, really look forward to seeing those reports from their phones. I want to see what Jenn was saying that day to everyone. I want to see what Stephan was saying that day to everyone. I want to see what Maddie and Stephan talked about and how often, because police have pointed out in these interviews several times now, they spoke for hours and hours at all hours of the day and night, very late at night when she should have been in bed. They would be on FaceTime for a long, long time. Even Maddie's friends in their interviews said, you know what? I would call and she would always be on the phone with him. Actually, recently I called and she said, do you want me to call you back or add you in? And I had her add me in, and I sat there with him while they talked about homework and this and that. It was like he was like another teenager. He was acting like another teenager, like hanging out with her, talking to her about school stuff, homework, all that kind of stuff. It's weird, but I want to see in black and white all of that. I want to see it too. But you know what? Will they release that before the trial? I would think they wouldn't. That would be something that would probably come out in the trial. Cammie says, Ellie does not release all their information. Remember, they know many more details. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, usually by the time you have a trial, you have a good idea of the investigation. And then afterwards, when you can request the entire discovery, you would be able to see all of those things eventually. But hey, Tiff, Allie, Jennifer Soto allowed him to talk to her child all day and all times of night. Yes, she did. She absolutely did. Will we see it though? TK, I think so, because it's either going to be used as evidence at the trial. They're going to want to show his movements, their communication. But even if he pleads guilty and they don't have a trial, I would assume that will be in the discovery, that will be able to be released to the public. I mean, look at everything they're releasing now. A lot of states would never. They would never. Oh, hold on. Okay. Yeah, a lot of states would never. He will likely enter a plea, Hound Lover says. I doubt we will see all of that. I just don't see him wanting to go to trial. I don't see why he would be dumb enough to take it to trial, but maybe he would plead. If he has a mental health defense, he's going to have to take it to trial. And no matter what, afterwards, if it's in the discovery, it will be able to be requested. 99% of it. There might be certain things they would redact. That always happens, but yeah. All right, let's keep listening. But look at some of the other states. We can't get hardly anything on some of these cases before trial. You'll get, a little bit of information in the arrest affidavit. And then when they have their pre-trial hearing or preliminary hearing, it can be called like different things in different states. Pretty sure that's the term for it. When they have that, it's basically like a mini trial. I mean, with Letitia, with Lori, hell, Chad Daybell's went on for several days. They had FBI witnesses. They went through a lot of the evidence. They do give you a lot of evidence during that. And then at the end, it's because of Florida's sunshine laws. West Virginia Mountain Mama says, I love your name. Tiff says, in my opinion, Jenn Soto was getting paid. Interesting. That's why she was okay with it. And let's see. I don't think he's going to go to trial. Let's keep listening. JS. Florida releases everything eventually, Tess says. He ain't mentally nothing. He's just a lazy mooch, period. That's exactly what he is. A lazy, mooching coward of a man who is absolutely sick, twisted, demented, and disgusting. He doesn't deserve to breathe the same fucking air as you guys and me. And that's just the way I feel about it. Wait, did I say that right, B. Crumbs? Was my grammar correct there? I believe it was, because we had the conversation about I, or, take that. A lot of people make that mistake of thinking it's always I, you and I. Let me know. Okay, let's keep listening.
She'll immediately go do what she needs to do. And then she'll either lay back down in bed and snooze until it's time to go, or just be ready to go.
Do you take her to school?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you take her to school, where do you drop her off at?
At the school.
Okay, so you pull in through the line and drop her off at the front and stuff like that. When she goes to school, when you take her to school, is she talkative in the car, or does she
chain smoking over here?
Do on the way there?
Not really. She'll be on her phone. We'll listen to the radio station, or listen to some Taylor Swift.
Aww.
Yeah, she's pretty quiet. Or she'll be snoozing, sleeping. Yeah.
Okay. So going back to Stephan, was Stephan at the birthday party?
No.
No, okay.
He was traveling from Northport, Florida to Kissimmee.
Where's Northport?
Sarasota County.
Oh, okay. And he got here when?
So if she got dropped off around 9:30, 8:30, he probably showed up around 8:45.
Did you know he was coming?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys hung out? What did you guys do that night? Okay.
Yeah. What did we do that night? I only spent about 30 minutes with them because I had to go to sleep. I had to take my meds and go to sleep. And I know that they need to go to sleep because they have to go to school, or she had to go to school. I usually like making bedtime around 10:30. So when I got there and she was still up, I understood why she was still up. She was waiting for me and wanted to show me all her presents and stuff. By 11, I was like, you guys need to go to bed. It's late. Like, it's super late. Sorry, I don't know what I was going to say.
Is it normal if he comes to see you that he, or?
Yes, it's normal for him to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom.
Okay. What makes it different from when he sleeps with, or the three of you, or upstairs by himself?
It all depends on the circumstance of what's going on. For the most part, if it's a school week and school, I send them upstairs because I know that my alarms are going to go off multiple times super early in the morning and I don't want to wake him up.
Oh my God. Wait, let me hear that.
If it's a school week and school, I send them upstairs because I know that my alarms are going to go off multiple.
Oh my God. If it's a school week and Maddie has school, I send them upstairs? Or, because then she says, I don't want my alarm to wake him. What? Oh my God. Okay. Maria says he's going to blame Jenn. And yes, I agree with you. He is. And we are going to go through his emails because I realized a lot of people haven't seen them. And in some of his conversations with his parents, you can kind of see where it might be going. So we're going to do that soon. I don't know when. I have a football game tonight. And Jenn and I are expecting some calls as well. So, you know, sometime soon we're going to go through it and his interview. But I also really, you guys know, it's really important to me to keep doing other lives with more unknown cases too. I don't want to just do this. So we'll probably go back and forth a little bit until we get through all of the evidence.
Multiple times super early in the morning and I don't want to wake him up. Difficult to wake up. So I have to constantly be talking to her, shaking her. So I, for the most part, it's downstairs and he goes upstairs.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Exactly.
What made it different that night? For
the fact that I forgot my bipolar meds Saturday night. And I was not acting normal Sunday. And I realized Sunday night, oh my God, I forgot my meds Saturday night, which is why I've been so freaking weird today. I'm like, I need to take these meds and I need to sleep. I need like a good night's sleep. I can't wake up early in the morning. I can't take her. I can't do any of that. Like, I need you to do it. That's primarily the reason I told him to come from Northport, Florida to help me was this week because of training at work. I needed help. I needed support. So I invited him up to help me with that.
I'm so sorry for Maddie too.
Did you work on Monday?
No, I was off.
You were off, okay. So Monday during the day, what'd you do throughout the day?
If anybody blames Maddie, Kimberly, because I'm going to lose my shit. I know it. Because I already feel that when people, or like for instance, when Stephan says in his email to his parents, I didn't start it. It makes me want to come out of my damn skin. Don't you dare. And you know what? I don't care if she was, if there was something that, you know, she thought she was consenting to and willingly participating in. She cannot consent. She was manipulated, and it's horrible. I just cannot stand that. I know I'm going to just lose my mind if he does.
I had a blood work appointment at 10:15, 10:30. That took a little while to be seen.
Did Stephan go with you?
No. He was not home he had not gotten home by the time I left.
Do you remember what time you left?
Around, I think 9:30.
And where was your blood work at?
About 15 minutes away.
Which way, towards Kissimmee or Orlando?
Towards Orlando. It's on the border of Kissimmee, Orlando. It's in the Loop. It's across the street from the Loop. There's a doctor plaza there. There's a LabCorp there. So I went to LabCorp and I got blood work done.
Okay.
Waited there for a while. Then I must have gotten home sometime between, I would say 11:15, 11:30, something like that, or from 11 to 11:30 sometimes. And he was there. But before that, while I was at my blood work appointment, he actually called me. He said, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I left my phone at home. I was running some errands. This morning, we made super great time. She got ready super fast. We left super early. I offered her McDonald's multiple times, but she refused. So she asked to be dropped off early. And so he did."
Did she ever go to school and did she ever ask to go? Because sometimes kids don't want to go to school, period. Is
Yeah.
it normal for her to ask to be dropped off early?
Yes, sometimes.
Okay.
She's asked me multiple times to ask her to drop her off early. She wants to meet up with her friends, or she wants to get there earlier and earlier just to meet up with her friends.
But you still drop her off at the school?
Yes.
Okay. So she hangs out with her friends within the school?
Yes.
Okay.
The only reason I think he did not take her to school directly that morning is because she has voiced multiple times, "Hey, is Stephan taking me to school? Can you please drop me off far away?" She's embarrassed by his car. It's a Cadillac, it's not that old, but to her it's an old hoopty. She can't be seen in it. She doesn't want to be seen in it.
Pretty normal for kids to be embarrassed of their parents or whoever, you know, but at the end of the day, when Grizzly played this, she said, could she be embarrassed of him? Is that possible? I mean, it's possible. If so, I don't know if I see her getting on the phone with her friend and him like that, but maybe. What do you
So
guys
she's made that comment before, "Please drop me off far away. I want to walk." But yeah. And you look at the car, to me, it looks like a normal car. It looks old, but.
Gotcha. Okay, so
There you go, Mrs. Bendover.
So
would he come here? Would you go there?
he would come here.
There was
He's only been gone for the last 2 months. So he's come here those few times.
Okay.
I don't know, Angela. I wonder if they did a test on him or a blood test on him. You kids say who to?
And
No.
then he had told me he was like,
No way.
like frustrated, I guess. I'm gonna use the word frustrated.
Okay.
But I know he's had sexual relations with people. But I'm not bothered by that. That's whatever he needs to do.
Jenna Jiffy.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously there's a little bit of, actually, I don't want to get to that yet. Who drives your car?
Wonder what that was.
On Monday night, he drove my car.
Monday night when?
After we went to bed, after the cops had been called and all that, he took my car and decided to drive around to see if he could keep searching for her, looking for her, seeing if there was anything.
What time was that, you remember?
I don't know. I know he took my car and left because when I got into the front seat of the car had been adjusted. And he's like, remember I said I was gonna go out? And I'm like, yeah, that's right. You did tell me that you were gonna go out. I just don't remember. He never told me what time or anything. But he did mention earlier Monday, I'm gonna drive around. I can't just sit at home. I need to be looking for her. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine.
You remember if that was in the evening or like sometime before midnight, after midnight?
Oh, before midnight.
Okay.
I go to bed. Well, that's Monday night. Not sure what time I went to bed Monday night. I want to say before midnight because I had to take my meds and I had to go to sleep. They only work if I take them the right way, my meds. So I have to follow a strict routine with them. I'm going to say it was before midnight.
Okay, and then when you got into your car, when you didn't notice that the car was, or the seat was back?
Yesterday.
Lil Red, are you talking about the part that was redacted? That's what you think that they were saying?
Yesterday, whenever we got kicked out of the house, whenever they told us we couldn't go back in, forensics was coming. Yeah, I got into the car and I was like, oh, is he the guy? I'm like, did you get in it? He's like, yeah, I took a drive last night, remember? I'm like, oh yeah, you did. You told me that.
So Monday night, did you ever come here to the sheriff's office Monday night?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Did Stephan come here?
I don't think so.
That you know of? Okay.
Mrs. Bendover, thank you for being a member for 4 months. And I am also curious about his jail intake talks report. I don't think that's been released, but somebody let me know if you guys have seen that. And then, yeah, there were 35,000. Was it 35,000 or 30,000? My brain is like so much information. All of those images of child sexual abuse material. Because I want to say something. I guess, I had referred to it as child pornography, and I think that is not the politically correct term anymore, because it's not. It's not. It makes it seem as if it's, I guess, as if someone's willing, when at the end of the day, it is always abuse. So I want to make that clear. But yeah, there were 30,000 images of other kids found on the hard drive and 2 thumb drives that his dad recovered out of the storage unit. 35,000. A lot of people think he was part of a ring. And there are obviously a lot of other victims, I wonder if they'll release the talks. I know, Tiff, it does make you nauseous. It absolutely does. Lil Red, I didn't hear that, but I'll have to go back. It's possible. Yeah, I'll have to go back. I just thought you were referring to the redacted part, because I believe she said he had slept with some younger women on that part. That's just my opinion. I don't know, because it's redacted. But if it wasn't the redacted part, yeah, we'll have to go back and double check that. I'm not sure.
Do you know? Were they talked to here or?
No, they were talked at place of business originally where they did the report. And then we have been in contact with her at her apartment, but that was after the initial report was made.
That was
so actually, the hard drive and the 35,000 images, he had not touched those since 2020. So it was all, prior to and up to 2020. But they said that the first instance of him doing this to Maddie was 4 years ago. At first, they said 2022 in the interview. But when you look at the charges, remember, let me show you. The very first instance was the day after this was posted to Facebook by Jenn. This photo here of them in the pool. And I just show that because I was looking at it this morning, actually. I was just thinking about her little hands, the way she doesn't want to touch his nasty ass. Look at it. I mean, you can clearly see that she's like barely wanting to hold on. It's disgusting. So it goes back to when she was 8 or 9. And, when she passed, she was 13. So, yeah, awful.
Last night.
Yes. Yesterday, the other detective, Frank, responded around 10 o'clock in the morning and started looking at the school. I'm not sure when the initial contact was made with her. I want to say it was like around 11 or 12, right? At your apartment. And we've been in contact with her since then.
Okay. All right. Now, I understand that a detective recently showed you some pictures of not so pleasant things. Okay. What was discussed at that point?
They asked me if I recognized the penis.
Mm-hmm.
In one image, I didn't. In the other image, not that I recognized the penis exactly, but I recognized the things around the penis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
And,
Like what, clothing or?
clothing and like a pillowcase
Okay.
that was like underneath the penis in the picture. So I recognized that.
Jesus, Lord have mercy. Me too, Claus. Me too. I'm with you.
Did he explain to you where those images came from?
You said Stephan's phone?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Did he explain to you the content of those pictures?
Yeah, the things around it. Teacup, we know what was around it. It makes me
I'm
fucking
not
sick.
sure.
I'm sorry for my language, you guys. I just, oh my God.
Just explain that they were in his phone, that there's evidence that they've been sexually active or doing.
Let me be quiet. I'm sorry.
Did he explain to you the content of those pictures?
I'm not sure. Just explain that they were in his phone, that there's evidence that they've been sexually active or doing things. That's
What's Stephan's relationship with? What's their relationship like?
I was gonna say really good, super great. He's always been super sweet and kind to her, very accepting, warming, understanding of her because she's got ADHD, so she's.
Now, this bothers me, so let me sit for a minute. I want to make myself clear. When I say we know what was around it, she didn't see. I was referring to, it was an actual photo of oral sex. However, they said that they zoomed in where you couldn't see Maddie, I guess, because the cop said, remember, if you rewind, they said the photo is zoomed in. If I zoomed out, it's Maddie. So, but, okay. So this part is kind of hard to hear because it's just, she's talking about how difficult Maddie is as a child and how Stephan was just so great with her. And, she's really difficult. So, he's just so great for that, Oh, okay. Frustrated.
What's their relationship like?
I was gonna say really good, super great. He's always been super sweet and kind to her, very accepting, warming, understanding of her because she's got ADHD, so she's kind of a little, I'll say abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense like she doesn't act like every other kid. But you have to have extra patience and understanding for her. And he does that really well.
He does that really well. I bet he does, Jen.
And she's
Jeez.
not right, from what I understand.
She just turned.
Just when she's around Stephan, does she act any different?
How can you still say that? I know.
She's happy. She's like, hey, how are you? But she doesn't act any.
No, she's not. No, not today. You know what? Let me just take a second and say, no, Maddie is not abnormal. Guess what? Kids can be difficult. They're kids. When they're going through puberty, especially when they've been abused for 4 fucking years. You know, maybe that might make them a little difficult, but all children are. You have to find ways to get kids to listen, to punish them where, all kids are different. You have to find unique ways to deal with all children. And they're all special and wonderful. And regardless of how difficult they may be at times, because all kids are. That's parenting, man.
There's no really easy way to ask this, but do you think it's possible that Stephan and her are having a sexual relationship?
Before those images, I would have said absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're telling me that on the other side of that penis that they showed me was her with her mouth,
yeah,
then there's nothing else I can believe that has to be true. But before that evidence, I would have said no.
Has Stephan always been, like, when you guys communicate and talk, or have you ever caught him in any kind of lies or not being truthful or anything like that?
No.
So he's been honest about everything, as far as you know?
As far as I know, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had to question.
Wait, Nope. I'm sorry. That's bullshit. She says, like 3 days later in an interview, he's a liar, a master manipulator, and he's been lying to his parents for years and stealing from them and stuff for years. So what are you talking about, Jen? What's the truth? Exactly, she said before he lied, West Virginia Mountain Mama. Yes, she did. That's bullshit. Mrs. Bendover, holy cow, my 3 were animals, all special, wonderful animals. Exactly. Mine too. And that is part of what makes them so special. Like, come on. But yep, she sure did, you guys. But now it's, oh no, he's so trustworthy. I've never had to worry about him being a liar. 3 days later, you said he's been lying for years and you've been watching him. And he's a master at it. Maybe she can't just come to that realization. If she's been watching him lie to other people for years.
Has Stephan always been, like, when you guys communicate and talk, or have you ever caught him in any kind of lies or not being truthful or anything like that?
No.
So he's been honest about everything, as far as you know?
As far as I know, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had to question.
Right, Dead-Eye Danny.
If I've had questions, I've had answers.
Mm-hmm.
So it was never, I never suspected anything. No.
Hey, Sherry.
How long have you lived in Kissimmee?
I lived in that house on and off since 11 months old.
Okay, so. Where else did you live other than that?
For a little while, I moved into my mother's house during COVID.
Mm-hmm. Where did she live?
In Hunters Creek.
Okay.
And then during COVID, it was another situation where he got promised the job down there and it didn't happen. We moved down there, got an apartment, and lived there for somewhere between 6 to 8 months. And then
Moved down where?
I'm sorry, to Port Charlotte, Florida,
Okay.
which is next to Sarasota County.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Charlotte County.
Mm-hmm.
We moved down to Port Charlotte during the whole COVID, where everyone was quarantining time. We moved during that time and stayed in Port Charlotte.
What about Stephan? How long has Stephan lived in Kissimmee?
I'll say on and off for 7 years or 6 years. The first he was still staying at his parents.
Where's his parents live?
At the time, they lived in Winter Garden, Florida, but now they live in Northport, Florida. That's who he lives with down there.
Oh, okay. What about family? Any other family around here?
Who, him? No. I think he's got distant relatives, but nobody he's ever talked to like that.
What about friends, or you guys have friends? Are all your friends in Kissimmee?
All of his friends are in Northport, Florida. He made a big group of gaming friends down there. He's got some coworkers he talks to here, but no one I've seen him hang out with lately.
Okay. What about you? Are your friends in Kissimmee, or?
Sorry, do you mind stepping up for a second?
Yep. Give me 1 second, okay?
1 second.
Hey,
I'm so sorry.
Hey, Roxanne. I think I said hi to you. Yes, Eagle Eye, we are. Oh, that's so awesome. Good luck to your baby. Good luck to Bryson, too.
Shit, sorry, I'm so sorry. I have a horrible potty mouth.
The cop said I have a horrible potty mouth.
So also we were talking about Stephan's relationship with her, and when, like, if you aren't in the same room,
How do we communicate?
like texts.
No, we speak to each other.
Okay, so you call each other on the phone.
If she's in the same room?
No, if you guys aren't in the same room,
Oh.
like if she's out with her friends or you're at work or.
Call or text, but she's really bad about responding. She'll put her phone on silent or do not disturb.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes she'll respond, sometimes she won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you and Stephan normally communicate?
Pretty wild.
Via Google Meet, which is the video, not FaceTime, but the video chat for Android.
Okay.
We'll video chat pretty much all day.
Okay. Does Stephan ever talk on the phone?
Yeah,
How do they do that? How do they normally communicate?
video chat as well.
Okay.
But when she's on video chat, she's video chatting next to me and we're all part of the conversation. They never go off by themselves and have their own conversation. It's always all of us together.
Okay. Do they talk quite a bit? Do you know?
See, well, I'll say yes, because we're all in the conversation together and we stay on the phone for hours together. So yeah. But that's all of us together.
Got it. Normal times of the day. I know kids sometimes are up late at night talking on the phone or anything like that. If Stephan's in Northport at home or with his parents and you guys are here and you guys are all talking, is it when normal people talk or in the early in the morning or?
After school and before bedtime
Okay.
Let me hear that again.
Are you talking on the phone or anything like
together. So yeah.
Now, you know why they're asking
See,
this,
well,
right?
I'll say yes, because we're all in the conversation together and we stay on the phone for hours together.
Yes, they do,
So, yeah.
don't they? Mm-hmm.
But that's all of us together.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Normal times of the day. I know kids sometimes are up late at night talking on the phone or anything like that.
You know why he's asking that, right? And why he's saying it like that. Because in that one interview with Stephan, we find out, as the lady cop who has a potty mouth apparently, which I really like her, she asked Stephan, why are you on the phone with her so much for so long and so late? Like way past her bedtime, video chats and stuff. Why? What's going on? Oh, Jenn, oh yeah, but it's all of us. No, Jenn. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I believe, well, we know it wasn't because Maddie's friend said she was on a call with Maddie and Stephan for hours, had no mention of Jenn. It was the three of them talking about homework and other things like that, regular day-to-day life. So these officers are asking her, giving her an opportunity to say, yeah, they do talk really late at night on video chat for hours.
Do you
That's all of us together.
Mm-hmm.
got it? Normal times of the day. I know kids
No, she
sometimes are up
doesn't. No,
late
not
at
today.
night talking on the phone or anything like that. Do you, if Stephan's in Northport at home or with his parents, and you guys are here, and you guys are all talking, is it when normal people talk, or in the early in the morning, or
After school and before bedtime.
okay?
She has no clue, obviously, apparently, and that's why the cops are asking, though, because they already know. You think they don't know at this point? Oh, they know. They've got their phones. They've done these search warrants. I don't know if they've got them back yet, but it doesn't matter. They've got their physical phones. Melissa says, dear Lord, I'm getting so annoyed. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not trying to yell at you guys. I need to take it down a notch. I apologize, but Melissa says, dear Lord, which reminded me, Melissa and I have been talking about having a conversation on all of this, all of the evidence that has came out regarding this case over on her channel, because she's been following it now and kind of digging into it and learning the case. So I'm going to drop her link. You guys go over there because that will be soon. Okay. Let's keep. I look
Do you
forward to
know
that.
if
I need to talk this
has
out.
conversations with Stephan outside of your presence?
We have, but
Like, do they talk on the phone?
It's possible, but if I'm at home, I would know.
Gotcha.
well, I don't
Because
think
she's
so,
always
Jen.
in my bedroom.
Okay.
Look.
Do you know if has conversations with Stephan outside of your presence? Like, do they talk on the phone?
It's possible, but if I'm at home, I would know.
Gotcha.
Because she's always in my bedroom. She's hanging out in my bedroom or in her space, but
Mhm.
I can hear her in her bedroom or I can hear her from my bedroom. So I would know.
Okay. Now this is kind of going to get into a sensitive subject, which
Yeah.
I apologize.
She has no idea.
But there were images on his phone of them two being involved in a relationship. Now,
I just want to acknowledge the language that he's using is uncomfortable. There's evidence of them being in a relationship. You know, obviously they weren't in a relationship. This was not a relationship, but I do believe they say things a certain way for a reason. And she doesn't have much a reaction to what she's learned today, right? She's pretty chill. I think that they might be, my opinion is they're trying to get a reaction out of her or get more out of her or something like that. So even though it is uncomfortable to hear they're police, they're doing a job, there's always a method to the madness when it comes to these kind of interviews and stuff like that.
has she ever disclosed to you or anything like that? If anything like that has happened between them? No? Okay. Has
Exactly. West
he ever mentioned to you, like, is he into any kind of, like, does he watch
Sure.
porn or any that you know of?
I'm sure he does, but
Exactly.
Does he watch it around you or?
I know Kimberly.
I know some thing, or does he do that to your phone or anything like that? Okay.
we pretty much respect each other's privacy.
What about his phone? You ever go through her phone at all?
Sometimes,
Bullshit.
but not as much as I should probably.
Bullshit. I don't believe that for a second. I'm sorry. There ain't no way in hell. Unless her phone's deep in the sand, buried where her head is, She ain't going through it. That's a lie, in my opinion. I'm sorry, you guys, but come on. Come on.
Mhm.
Sometimes,
Yeah,
but not as much as I should, meaning hell no.
yeah, I've gone through her phone before though.
Okay. Anything abnormal that you would see in her phone?
That I thought, no.
Not that you
Sarah.
thought, or
No, I'm saying like if,
never?
I've never seen anything,
Gotcha.
no, but I'm
Got it,
saying if
okay.
you guys saw something, then I missed it.
No, I'm not saying that we have.
Okay.
No. Stephan's phone is a different story.
Yes. Just going back to the comment you made about how you know that he was sexually active with someone else.
And I found out about it later. But there was a girl he had been hanging out with, a coworker. This was about over a year ago. He started hanging out with a coworker, and I had suspicions that they were sleeping together, but I would ask and he wouldn't confirm or say anything like that. But he didn't confirm until a few months later that, yeah, they in fact did sleep together. And I was just like, well, okay, good to know. I was just checking to see if I had slept with him after that. And like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't want to have sex with him after he's had sex with somebody else.
That just makes me sick. That statement makes me sick. Melissa, you crack me up. Let's rage. Kidding, sorta. Calm it down, ladies. No, but seriously, yeah. Helen says, well, I'm livid. Hey, Artemis, I didn't even. Did I go robotic for a second? Did I go robotic for a second, you guys? Ooh, bee crumbs, thank you. Aw, that's so cool. Okay. No. Hey, Nicole B. Have a good day, Roro. I'm sorry. And look, I know not everybody feels how I feel. That's okay. Please don't feel like you have to agree with me. But during this part, I got a little sidetracked, but I wanted to say during this part, we know that she's talking about the woman that police spoke to. They did have a sexual relationship, but this woman appears to think they had more than that, like a real relationship for at least a little bit. And she broke it off. Some of the reason because he went home to sleep with Maddie and weird things like that. I'd have to pull the report to tell you word for word exactly what she said. But I thought it was interesting. Jenn didn't know that. She kind of acted like they were friends, but then they hooked up or something like that, you know?
So when he told me that, I was just checking with myself to see if that had happened, and it hadn't. So.
And this got brought up on a conversation of you asking him if he
Kristen,
was
welcome.
sexually active with someone, something on his phone, or was he texting off to the side?
No, it was a conversation that we had, and he just told me.
Was it a cordial conversation, or were you guys angry, or?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, when was the last time you guys were sexually active?
December of not December
2022.
2023, but December 2022.
Okay.
Thought that was kind of interesting. December of 2022. And also, not to repeat myself, but want you guys to keep in mind, after this interview, directly after, because remember a few minutes ago, she says, Stephan's dad just texted me. Where can he go to wait? He's picking her up from this interview. Directly after this interview is when she gets in the car with him, and I'm going to play the clip after this where he describes it because I have it in my messenger saved to myself, where Stephan's dad describes her demeanor after this interview. She wanted him to get him a lawyer she's admitted she thought they had the wrong guy. And he goes on to say how her demeanor was so off that she was more talkative and chipper than she had ever been. After this, after seeing these photos, during this that we're listening to right now, just keep in mind, that's the timeline of how things went down.
At that point, I had decided that I wasn't interested in sex. I wasn't. My meds just really affected me, and I was just like, you know what? I think it took a while to figure out that it was my meds. I was trying to figure out if it was like my hormones, or my body, like what was going on, but it was just my meds. We narrowed it down to that. So when I realized that what was happening, I just had to accept it, because it's either come off my meds or fix my sex drive. Well, come off my meds, fix my sex drive, or stay on my meds. I'm gonna stay on my meds. Like, I need to stay stable. So, yeah.
Where have you guys been staying? I know you said they kicked you out of your apartment or whatever, but while they were at your apartment, where were you guys staying?
At a hotel right off the Disney property, Home Suites by Marriott or something like that, on Western Way, off of 429.
Okay. So you and Stephan have been together pretty much the whole time after? Have you guys always been together, or has there been times that you stay at the hotel or you work in and him be out by himself?
When I woke up this morning, he wasn't there, and he was gone for about an hour. But he came back and he said he had gotten some Wawa, and then he got lost because he didn't have his GPS or phone on him or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So took him a while to get back to the hotel, but he found us eventually. I wondered that. I was just like, he left the hotel and didn't have a phone on him, didn't tell me where he went. I'm like, how is he going to find his way back? I don't think he even paid attention to how I got here, because I'm the one who drove. I'm the one who knew where the hotel was. I was like, I don't know if he's going to figure it out, but he did. But he was gone for about, I was going to say, an hour.
Okay.
She just believes anything he says, right? It's unbelievable.
Else right now.
I feel like I'm.
Listen to this.
Can I see that image? Because I feel like unless
Nicole,
I'm not going to believe it until I have confirmation, and I'm always going to have doubts unless I actually see it myself. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to leave here today and never have the opportunity again. Like, I want to.
No, I don't mind showing you, but they are difficult things to see. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the one image.
I'm not sure which picture they showed you earlier. I don't think we might have the same pictures. We do have different pictures, but I don't know if I have the same one that the other detective showed you.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Do you still want to look?
Yes.
I can understand this, you guys. I know many of you said I wouldn't look. For me, as wild as this may sound, or as weird as it may sound, if anything happened to my child, anything from A to Z, and God forbid, I hope to God they live long, healthy lives to have beautiful babies and all that. I'm just saying, if anything were to happen to them, whether it was something like this, whether it was gang violence, this, that, anything, I don't care. I would need to see it all. I would need to know. I would feel responsible to know exactly what happened to my baby, because it's my baby. And I would never be okay with like police or detectives or someone else knowing more about my baby and what happened to them, their story, than me. I would need to know it all. And I would not be able to rest until I did. That's truly how I see it. So, I know a lot of people, like I said, probably couldn't see, wouldn't be able to look at it. And that's okay too. And we honestly don't know. And unless we've actually been in that situation, we can all assume and guess of what we would do, but we don't know, but that's just the way I think I would be. Hey, Corey. So yeah, many of you guys feel that way and some don't. I don't know if I could. I didn't want to know it all about my dad's death/accident, but that's not my kid. And Amber, I'm so sorry for your loss. I would have to see. Oh no, I could not look. We did a closed casket. I could not. I have never read the official police report. It is still sealed in the envelope it was mailed in. I'm so sorry, Lil Red. And I can understand that too. You know? Tess said, I think for me, it's how she asked to see it that is troubling, in my opinion. I would need to see what my baby endured. You know, I feel however you feel about that. I don't judge anybody, you know. That's personal.
Am I gonna clearly see her face?
Yes.
Am I going to clearly see her face? Because she admittedly cannot believe this. She don't believe it, even after hearing it.
And prior to this, have you known her to be sexually active with any boyfriends or friends?
I'm out of coffee.
That one right there is enough.
You saw it through the picture?
I could, but you can turn it around if you want.
Kristen, a lot of people think that. Let me go.
Through the picture?
Friends?
Yes.
And prior to this, have you known her to be sexually active with any boyfriends or friends?
That one right there is enough.
You saw it through the picture?
I could, but you can turn it around if you want.
That one right there is enough. You saw it through the picture? I could, but you can turn it around if you want.
Do you recognize anybody else that may be in that photo? I know basically it's only genitalia, but is there anything else in that photo that stands out to you?
Oh my God, this just makes me so sick. It hurts my heart. It hurts my stomach. Like, God.
No.
Anything in the background?
Is this a picture of a picture? Is this a picture of a phone? Like, is this background
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Okay.
Why that's relevant, whatever. I don't know why that's what the hell you're fucking concerned about, but okay. Listen closely, because like I said, after this, we will hear what Stephan's dad says she did when she left this interview.
Yes.
Let me see. I think I recognize in the background now. There's not much space. Okay.
If you don't mind asking, who keeps calling?
Everyone, the news,
Family and everything?
my family, they're all trying to figure out if I was the news, because last they heard I was going to the news conference and that I was gonna watch that, but that's not what happened. So they all want an update, see where I'm at and what I'm doing and what's the latest.
Yeah,
but-
understandable.
Yeah, you can let them know that the reason it's taken so long is now this is now a Kissimmee police investigation.
Okay.
Since that's where you guys live.
Yeah.
Okay. I know this may not make sense to you, but amongst us it does. Sometimes when people call the police and then want to file a report, there's jurisdictional lines that we got to follow.
Yeah.
Okay. So being that she was dropped off at school, that would make it Orange counties. Okay. But now we can't definitively say she was dropped off at school, we believe she was. We got to go on. We definitely know 100% that she was at home at your house on her way to school. So that's why we're involved. Okay, does that make sense to you now? Okay. I can't think of anything else right now for her. Anything else that we may miss that?
I know that you said that Stephan was out, right, looking for her that night. Do you remember what time he came back? Like when you woke up, was Stephan home?
Yes.
What time did you wake up?
Can I look at my phone and tell you?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. Because it was phone calls at 1 p.m. Let me see if I can find it. We're talking about Tuesday morning, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And while you're looking for the time, was there any specific reason on why he wanted to use your car instead of his?
Because he had just gotten a flat tire, so he's got a donut on one of the back wheels. And I told him not to drive the car because you can't drive very much on a donut, right? Like
Okay.
not fast and not far. So
Did he explain any, like how the flat tire happened on the car, or
he was just
where
driving
he
down.
was when it?
And he was just driving down 192, and then he felt like a wobble or something weird. And then he pulled over and saw that the tire had like just shredded, just fell apart. So he pulled over into a plaza and changed the tire.
Do you know where about?
He says somewhere on 182, but he doesn't know exactly where because everything looks the same to him.
Interesting.
He doesn't know what business he may have stopped at or where. But I will tell you, Stephan also
I
has
do too,
ADHD.
Kristen. He's great.
He's also very forgetful. It's like they're both the same. They both have ADHD. They're both very forgetful.
Oh,
They both have
Jesus.
time blindness, which means they lose track of time. They if they don't have a watch on them at all times, they've lost track of time. They don't know how long they've been taking.
Oh my
An hour or more long shower, not realizing she's been in the shower for very long. They're both the same in that respect.
gosh,
He's
yeah.
also on medication, which is making him super forgetful. It's an
Is this
anxiety.
new for him, or has he always had this?
Stephan, he's always had ADHD. I want to say that's probably the ADHD part that just it's not.
Yeah.
It's hard to manage and control, right? It's just how you are, and it's just a lot of those little things that just it was just too much for me. And I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, it's okay.
Yeah. So right now,
He doesn't remember where he got this flat tire.
And he changed it himself, he said.
She's like making excuses for him. He doesn't remember where he got the flat tire because he has a bad memory. He has ADHD. What the hell? No, you are still making excuses for him. And while I was muted, I found the clips of his dad. So I have them ready to go when we're done. We have about 20 minutes left. We're almost done.
yes.
Okay.
And he said he hurt himself while doing it. I think his thumb got caught in between
You weird, no?
the thing that cranks the car up
Okay.
and like the frame.
Mhm.
Something twisted and fell on his finger, and he said he yanked out his finger really fast
Okay.
and hurt himself.
Again, if your child goes missing and the person who was last with them has an injury on their hands, their face, that is a red flag. The person who was last with them accidentally factory resets their phone. That is also a red flag.
All right, so he used your car because of the flat tire. Okay. And then did you find the time?
Yes, it is in these apple bottom jeans. It was released yesterday on Grizzly. I'm going to link it with no commentary in the chat right
I
now.
woke up around 8 o'clock in the morning.
Also in the description.
And he was home.
Yes,
Was he awake, sleeping, or what was he doing?
asleep.
Okay. And then do you know if at any point during any of this, like if he's showered, he's changed?
No.
Not that you have physically seen?
No, I haven't seen him shower or change.
Okay.
Is that phone number?
No. Sorry, we're almost done.
Okay, I got all the time. Hey, Whipping Windhounds.
I think he showered. I'm not sure if he showered. I don't think he showered Sunday night. I think it must have been Monday morning sometime.
Monday morning?
Yeah, because there is a towel in my bathroom that's not ours. Not
He told police that he didn't shower, he didn't wash his clothes, and he didn't change clothes. We know he did. He was wearing a red shirt in the footage of him dumping her book bag and all that. He was wearing a blue shirt later in the day when they did the news interview, and the next day when he spoke to police, he was still in that blue shirt, and he was trying to claim he had not changed. We also know the roommate said he was washing clothes, and he never did that. So it stood out.
that's hanging there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I recall him telling me he was going to take a shower, but I just don't remember when exactly.
Okay. Does anybody else use this bathroom?
Just a second.
Hey, Adrian. Yes, she did miss Upper Thigh. That's a
You
fact.
said you had
My-
two roommates.
Yeah.
What are their names?
Angelica. Do you want the last name as well?
Please. And who is the other one?
Natalie.
How long have you guys been roommates with each other?
With Angelica, almost 3 years. With Natalie,
They did redact the last name. I wish they would have redacted their names, but at the end of the day, when you're part of a case like this that has a lot of public interest, people are going to know who the players are and who the witnesses are and all of that, and probably going to be on the stand as well. Well, I'm pretty certain they will be.
almost 2.
So I'm not sure if you guys went to the house at all.
You were there, but not outside.
Okay, so these bedrooms are numbered. So do you know which room is Angelica's?
Angelica's room is number 3.
Number 3.
And Natalie's room is number 2.
Okay. Like if you actually physically are there, each door has a number.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And do you guys rent to a separate landlord? Like, does someone own that specific unit? Okay. And then he rents out rooms, it looks like?
Yeah.
Titanium.
How did you meet them? Who are they in relation to you?
Natalie Rosero, I've known her since
Oh my God.
my
you didn't
sister
pick
was in middle
last
school. They were middle school best friends. So we've known her, I'd say more than half her life now, 20 plus years. Angelica, I met her on Facebook Marketplace almost 3 years ago when she rented.
Looking for a place to
Yeah,
live
looking
in.
for a place, yeah.
How old is Angelica?
31, 32.
Okay, so they're both a little older.
Yeah, and Natalie's.
Whoa, that one is not old, okay?
36. Sorry.
Natalie is 33, I think.
Okay.
Since you mentioned Facebook Marketplace, social media?
She's got a
Yeah, she said not
Instagram?
pictures.
Okay. Do you happen to know her Instagram name?
Yeah.
Or if you can pull up her page, that'd be great.
So the roommate heard a loud noise coming from Stephan's room. I believe it was around 2 or 3. I need to pull up the report to be 100% certain. But she described it, Miss Upper Thigh, as like someone was banging on the table or doing something on the table. Let me go find the report just so I can be certain and tell you guys, for sure. So I'll find that while we're listening.
Do you mind if I take a picture of it?
Okay, go ahead.
What about Stephan? Does he have social media?
I'm not sure I don't think he's got, does he? Yes, so he's got a Facebook, he's got an Instagram, and he's got a Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
possibly Discord as well, which is like a chat app.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have his Instagram that you can show me? And what about his Facebook?
What's happened to Steph? Actually, can you guys update me on what's happening with Stephan at this point?
So we're, like you said, we're gonna get all the same information that Orange County got from you. So that right now we're kind of starting at the bottom and working our way up.
We're gonna go talk to him now.
Yep.
Oh, after.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So just so we know a little bit more about it, I know you mentioned something about gaming, or is that like one of his things to do, gaming? What is he into?
He's into.
Like, what does he do on a daily basis? Obviously, he lives in North Florida. What's he into?
So, one thing. Another thing Stephan's got, mental health wise, is insomnia. He doesn't sleep well. And he's got also sleep apnea. So when he sleeps, he stops breathing and doesn't get good rest. His brain is always telling him to wake up and breathe. So he's always constantly being woken up. He doesn't get good sleep. Because of this, he spends the majority of his day sleeping. Just trying to get
It's because he's a lazy piece of shit. Stop making excuses for this son of a bitch. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sick of it. I am so sick of hearing her take up for him. We're going to take 1 second break so I can give you the accurate information about the roommate. So she does 2 interviews, one at the end of February, one early March. I'm going to show you what she said in both. So the first interview, she says, I asked if she's seen Madeline or Jennifer when she got home. She did not see them. She said when Jenn takes her sleeping meds, she is in a deep sleep. She stated she did hear noises coming from the bedroom next to her, which was Stephan's bedroom where he and Madeline slept. Jennifer told Angelica that her and Stephan had not had a sexual relationship with the past 6 months. So that's a little different than what we heard today. She goes on to say the next morning she woke up at 9:30. She went downstairs at 10:30 and saw Stephan. He was acting odd, going up and downstairs and in and out of the apartment that morning. He was also washing clothes, which she had never seen him do. Also, unfortunately, later during the interview, I showed her a photograph that was located in Stephan's phone of a nude female in a bathroom. Angelica identified the person in the photograph as her, and she did not give him permission to take these photos. So she's a victim of his as well. Let's be clear about that. Then she says, let me see. Hold on 1 second. On March 7th, the other one is interviewed. 1 second, because I just found it, and it said the noise was like someone was placing something on a table. Maybe I should just search table. Here it is. So on March 7th, they talked with Angelica again. They wanted to confirm the timeline. I asked Angelica if Jennifer's door was open. She described it as being cracked. She went to sleep around 2:30, which is when she was hearing noises coming from Stephan's room. She described the noises as if someone was putting stuff on a table, which in order for her to hear noises, it would have to be significant based upon the noise would have to travel through 2 closed doors. So that is the accurate information we have about what time these noises happened, what they sounded like, and who heard them. Okay, let's go back, try to finish.
But it's a stupid cycle with sleep apnea. He'll spend the majority of his day sleeping. When he does wake up, he'll play a game called World of Warcraft. It's a video game.
Well, thank you, Amber.
Or he'll meet up with his friends and play tabletop games, like battle, like they battle each other with little toys.
Cards?
Yeah,
or?
the
That's
grown
what
man
the
who
little miniature figures.
sleeps all day and plays with
It's
figures.
called Warhammer 40K. It's just a tabletop tournament game. Like you're you're a weird race, you're a weird race of creature, and we're going to war with each other.
Okay.
So they're just trying to kill each other.
Battle each other or
Yeah.
something. Okay.
That's pretty much what he's into. Also, he collects Tamagotchis and Digimons. I don't know if you guys remember Tamagotchis from back in the day,
Mhm.
little creatures we
Little thing
used
you
to
gotta
take
keep
care of.
alive.
Yeah. He has a bunch of those. I want to say that's right now. Those are his current hobbies.
And since you've known him for his triggers, like, are there certain things that he gets upset about easily if you do or say, or, I mean,
Hey, we don't know. It's certainly possible.
I know I can be a nag sometimes. And if I keep nagging, he'll get a little irritated.
I don't buy that for a
But-
second. You nag somebody for nah, you ain't paying attention, girl.
I can't say I know what. I don't think he's got triggers.
have you ever experienced him outlash, like, to the extreme on anybody? You, any of his family, or does he ever?
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense. He had been doing this to Maddie for years. He was comfortable doing that. What triggered this? What happened and brought this on? I have a few different potential motives in mind. Do you guys have any? But yeah, it doesn't make sense. They're like, does he snap? Has he ever went off on you guys?
Hit you or
Oh,
just
no.
at all?
Oh, no, never. I'll say he does have like a little bit of a temper, but it's not anything I've ever been afraid of or been like, oh my God, he's gonna hit me, or oh my God, he's never like that.
Have you guys had any disagreements recently?
Nicole, I think she finally told him no. Miss Upper Thigh, I think she wanted a boyfriend her age. I've thought about both of those because of the crush thing.
All right. I think we're gonna go talk to Stephan a little bit and see if he can maybe give a little bit more insight of what happened that day after he dropped her off.
Is he being placed under arrest because of those pictures?
Thank you, KPM.
Yeah, we haven't made that determination yet, but
Wait, what did she?
Press charges.
we haven't made that determination. What happened that day after he dropped her off?
Is he being placed under arrest because of those pictures?
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God. Okay. I mean, I guess you would ask that question, but yeah, we haven't made that determination yet. Okay, buddy. Of course he is. A couple things. Adrian, she doesn't have full immunity. It was just based on one particular interview. If she was honest, they couldn't use what she said in that interview against her. And then Titanium, yeah, I went and marked every date on calendars that was in his paperwork. So I'll show you guys that when we go to play the clips of what his dad said at the end. No, I appreciate that, KPM. That helps a lot because, I'm reading your guys' theories. For a long time, I thought maybe it was an accident. Something went wrong in his horrific abuse of that baby. But, now hearing that she had just told him she had a crush a week before and she missed her period, I have a couple other potential motives in mind, but I don't know.
We haven't made that determination yet, but.
So welcome, Adrian.
Press charges. Since she's a juvenile.
No fucking idea.
Yeah, Nicole.
I didn't think it was in my power. I thought you guys just automatically did it.
Wait.
What do you think should happen to him for these pictures?
Press charges.
Hold on.
We haven't made that determination yet, but.
Press charges. Since she's a juvenile.
I thought you guys just automatically did it.
Do you want to press charges since she's a juvenile? I have no fucking idea. Lord have mercy. I didn't think it was in my power. I thought you guys automatically did it. Thank fucking God it's not. Excuse my language, you guys. That might have been offensive. I'm sorry. I'm getting really angry. This is bullshit.
What do you think should happen to him for these pictures?
It's crazy, like I saw the pictures, but I'm still in denial because like there's a penis there,
Mm-hmm.
but is he visual? Does he show up in any of the pictures?
Oh my God, Jesus help me. I cannot believe this. This is just unbelievable. Okay, hold on. I don't think I heard the last few minutes of this. Because yesterday I watched most of it, and yeah, I haven't heard this yet. So I'm sorry. I'm just shocked. Let's keep going.
Is there? I mean, I don't know who's.
I haven't seen all of the pictures, so I can't answer that.
Because I can't.
Whether it's his penis or not, are you comfortable with him having content of someone else's penis on his phone?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely not. No.
Duh.
No.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Pardon my language.
Right here.
I'm sorry. I
Or
don't.
talked about her being sexually active with anybody.
I've never even. Me assuming she had never been sexually active, I hadn't brought it up.
Has she ever had boyfriends in the past? Or?
Oh,
No,
thank you.
she's not allowed to date.
Okay. How does that make her feel?
I do too, PB and
I know
J.
some teenagers want to have a boyfriend. And,
Yeah, I think she was okay with it. She never complained and said, "You want to date this person, whatever." For a little while, she's like, "Someone, can they be my girlfriend or can they be my boyfriend?" And I'm just, I don't know if he's a boy or girl.
You don't remember.
And I said, "I think you're a little too young for that. Let's just wait till you're older. Wait till you're older." And she,
You don't remember? Why would you even say that like that? Who cares if it was a boy or a girl? But the way you said that was weird. That didn't sound
was
right.
like okay with that. Yeah, I know she recently had a crush on a boy, but
has she ever had boys at the house?
No.
Have you ever had anybody at your house, any male friends at your house?
Neat.
not in years.
What about your roommates?
My roommate has a son who's 11 or 12,
Mm-hmm.
but he's darker skin complexion, but I don't think that would be his penis.
Do your roommates have boyfriends?
Not that I know of, I don't think they do.
Would there be any reason with if they have boyfriends with any other male?
With any other male?
No.
So what do you think should happen to Stephan?
I'm afraid to say press charges, but what else?
Oh. I'm not even going to respond to this. I got to rewind it though. You got to be shitting me.
I'm afraid to say press charges, but what else?
How does it get worse? Lord have mercy. Ooh. I'm afraid to say press charges. No, I'm afraid to say that when I leave here, I'm liable to go kill his ass. I might even break in the jail to kill his ass. Oh
There's
my
a side of me that wants to say he's innocent, that this isn't happen, but who else's penis could that be? She's not left alone with anyone else.
And why would they be on his phone?
Yeah, why would they be on his phone exactly?
Oh my God. No, she doesn't.
Okay, we can revisit that. Because after we're done talking to him, I'll probably come back and talk to you for a little bit, just to give you an update and stuff like that, okay?
Can I make one decision now and change my mind later? If I decide not to press charges now, could I change my mind and press charges later?
It's a lot to digest. Okay, so I don't want to make you answer that right now, you know. But when we come back, we'll talk more about it. Okay, when I come back.
Let's take some time to process everything.
Because you're going through a lot right now.
Never wanted to punch my own computer.
But right now, I mean, in my eyes, it sounds bad, but almost secondary, because we want to worry about this afterwards. She's our main focus.
That's where I'm at. I know that the sexual acts happened, but I'm not convinced that he didn't take her to school. I'm not convinced that he's the reason she's gone. Because if this had been going on for so long, what's the motive? Why Monday? Why that day? Why the day after her birthday when we were supposed to spend the entire week together and have such a great time? Like we had plans. Like we knew we were just gonna be together that week and we were gonna have a good time. So I just can't think like why.
When you say what's the motive, what are you assuming?
That she was taken. Not that anyone that I know has done something to her, because I feel like nobody I know would do something to her, would hurt her, would murder her, anything like that.
You don't think anyone you know would hurt her? You cannot be that fucking dense. And excuse my language, look here. I'm not a professional. I'm just a regular ass person sitting at home who likes true crime, who likes to hang out with you guys and talk about it. So if that's what you're expecting, and definitely not today, it's just not going to happen.
I feel like, shoot. I just wonder if we're, like, I know the sexual acts happened, but I wonder if that's just completely separate to her actually going missing. And
what are the chances? And the flat tire and the injury and all the other stuff. Come on.
You don't think Stephan has anything to do with her going missing?
Why?
I'm just asking.
No, I know. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, what would be the reason? Where would he take her? There's nowhere I can think that he could take her that I hadn't heard of or known about or would be familiar with, because if not, I would tell you, okay, she could be here, she could be here, she could be here. There's nowhere I can think of.
Who does he know that lives in St. Cloud? You know where St. Cloud is.
I do know where St. Cloud is.
Oh, Pointer Lover, thank you for being a member 31 months, and I love you so much. Thank you.
Does he know anyone in St. Cloud?
Him or you?
I know people in St. Cloud.
Where? Where do they live?
I haven't seen him in a long while, though.
Nicole B., thank you for being a member for 3 months, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
But
you guys are the best. Thank you for everything.
One person lives close to Harmony.
Okay.
So driving all the way down St. Cloud, passing St. Cloud a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
One person lives in St. Cloud, like off of Old Canoe Creek Road.
Yes, it was,
Okay.
Kristen.
Anyone he knows, I can't think of anyone that he would know.
Has Stephan ever went with you to visit any of your friends in St. Cloud?
No.
So you're not sure, does he know anybody in St. Cloud?
I'm not sure if he knows anyone in St. Cloud. I know the girl he dated or was sleeping with. I guess that's technically Kissimmee off of Michigan. That's technically Kissimmee. So now it's in St. Cloud.
Let me ask you this. Now I'm going to get a little bit more in depth. Why would his car be in St. Cloud?
Before we listen to the rest, I just want to say thank you, Whippets and Windhounds, for joining. I appreciate that so much. And I put a couple new member emojis. Well, no, I put a couple for the Coffee and Crime Lives, a coffee cup, and then today I did a little sunshine, but it's a sassy sunshine. We cannot have no plain, regular sunshine. Okay, now I'm going to try really hard. not to interrupt, we got 4 minutes left because I want to get into this quick little clip really bad now, but I want to hear this. I know you guys want to hear.
Monday.
I know he was going to a bunch of gaming stores, video game stores. Maybe not video game stores, but like board game store, like where he can buy little miniatures and stuff. He also plays a card game also. I think he was looking for cards that day. A card game called Lorcana. I know he headed up, and I think he told me the shops were off of 192 somewhere. I'm not sure how far they were. I don't know if they were in St. Cloud, but I know he headed in that direction Monday while I was at the doctor's appointment. Or no, just kidding. After.
Okay. When's the last time you've been in your car in St. Cloud?
Me? I'll tell you right now.
While you look for that, did anybody else drive your car while you guys were looking? Other than Stephan?
No. The last time I was in St. Cloud was February 7th. I had a doctor's appointment over there.
Do we know when the dog hit on her car? It had to have been around this time. Well, she gets the car back on the 1st. I would think they would have done that like almost immediately. Does anybody know though for sure?
Okay.
Had it hit by this point?
Who would have been driving your car between Monday and now? Other than you?
Stephan.
Okay. 3 o'clock in the morning?
If he says he was out driving around, trying to think of places to look for her. Maybe.
You didn't go with him to look?
No.
Why?
I have to stay home and take my meds and go to sleep.
What? Yeah. What? No, because I had to stay home and take my meds and go to sleep. My kid's missing. I don't give a fuck about sleep. I don't know if I could. Yeah, the watching my mouth is all the way out the window during this live. I'm sorry, you guys. Mrs. Upper Thigh says, if the cops told me 1/4 of what they've told her, to the point I would be standing on tables screaming for his blood, not asking if his face was actually in any of the photos. And then Sarah, I wanted to say, she says, once again, her memory of Stephan and his interest is great. She can remember the word Digimon, but not the gifts her daughter got for her birthday. That's interesting because you made me think. So right now, I'm raising my niece. And her birthday is in a week. And of course, I'm going to treat her just like my kids and buy her a bunch of birthday presents, right? And so that's what I've been doing. And I could name you, actually haven't got any for a week or two, but I can name you every single thing I got her and what my mom's got her. You know what I mean? That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I can remember like all the things I got for my kids last year. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I care about that. I want to know what they've got from me and everybody else. I want to know that they're happy, that they like what they've got, that they enjoy it, that they've had a good day. You know what I mean? Don't you guys feel that way? I started Christmas shopping months ago. I know what's in the stash. Yeah. Hey, Alma, my niece. I was talking about my niece's birthday is in a week. And so I've been birthday shopping and I got her a bunch of cool stuff. I'm so excited. And I could sit here and name off every single thing that I've gotten her. But, you know, whatever. Not that that's super important. It's just something that I thought of because of the comment, Sarah's comment.
All right. So just to be clear, your roommates or nobody else has access to your car other than him?
No, Alma, that's okay. I got it. That's so sweet.
Nobody has a key
Thank
to
you.
your car other
That's
than
okay.
him
Thank you.
or you?
The only key they would have access to would be the spare that I keep on a hook by my bedroom door, and anyone can grab that. Would I think my roommates would go into my room and take it? No. But I think the only person that would have would be Stephan.
Anything else? You good?
I'll stop for now.
Okay. All right, Ms. Jennifer, thank you so much. Once again, I apologize that give the story again, but like I said, now I have to play catch up.
Am I allowed to contact anyone right now or no?
Who do you want to contact?
My sister, my mom keeps calling me, but I'm not really sure what to say at this point.
I mean, you can tell, I can't tell you what to say or what not to say. I will say that we are now taking over the investigation. So,
right?
Yes, ma'am. And I'll give you my card.
Is there a case number or anything I need to?
Not yet, I don't think so. We have theirs.
Yeah.
But I don't have ours yet.
Okay.
But just because this is an open investigation, I would highly suggest not to share any information outside of this room. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. And I'll be back in a little bit.
Don't share information out of this room. But then she goes and jumps in the car with Stephan's dad. And I'm going to tell you what she said. And Alma, you are sweet. That is really freaking sweet. Even just offering means a lot to me. And I really appreciate that. You guys are too good to me. Okay. Elliot Singer, I've been listening and I'm just wow. Okay. So let's take a second. Yeah. She immediately tells Chris to get him a lawyer. Here's actually what she said. I've clipped it. Let's see here. I could just play it off my phone, but I'm just going to share my little folder here where I've got all my stuff. It's like a Facebook message to myself where I've sent, photos, files, everything along the way. Here's what I was talking about where I marked all the dates from his indictment, his charges. We've got June and July 2019, June 19th, July 2nd, and July 12th. In 2019, this happened. That means it was going on 4.5 years, almost 5 years. The very first date, this June 19th here, this photo was posted to Jenn's Facebook June the 18th. And Maddie don't even want to touch his face, and then knowing what he did to her after. And in the documents, we know he threatened her that she wouldn't be allowed to keep watching the phone if she didn't put his disgusting privates in her mouth for a few seconds. Little sweet baby Maddie. It's absolutely so disgusting and disturbing. And I don't think that, I don't know. We're going to talk about it on this channel in a very honest way. I'm not going to soften what happened. I've told you guys that. We've talked about that. And I'm not going to, I don't think that Jenn was involved in Maddie's life being taken and stuff, but I'm also not going to take it super easy on her because I don't think she deserves that, in my opinion. And I'm sorry, I know it's not up to me, but at the end of the day, we're allowed to have thoughts and feelings on facts and evidence. This is, we have the facts of the case here. So I'm also going to be straight up how I feel about that too. And I'm not going to apologize for it, at least not today. Then we have February 2022 on the 22nd, March, these two dates in March 2022, July 2022, August 2022, June 2023, and we know obviously it was happening in 2024. These are just the dates on the charges. I'm sure there are many other dates, honestly, but let's listen to that clip now. Here's Jenn's big old king-size bed, that she has to get all that rest in. She didn't go. Why didn't you go with Stephan to look for Maddie? Because I had to go home and take my medicine and get some sleep. What? my kids aren't home with me, I'm not sleeping. I'm not. I don't see how you could. All right, so here we go. I think it actually, they sent out of order. So we're going to start with this one, 45 seconds, and go to the 2-minute one after. This is Stephan's dad talking about Jenn, because in the interview we just listened to, you hear Jenn say, where do I tell Stephan's dad to pick me up? And they say, you know, wherever, they tell her where. That's who gives her a ride home. Now he's going to talk about what she said on the ride home. And then Alma says, anyhow, as I was saying, no one ever found out about me being molested. And you know what? There are so many people who have told me that. I've talked about that in depth because I really tried to take it easy on Jenn before we had any evidence. And you know, a lot of people would get angry with me over it, but there's a lot of moms who just simply don't know. And her head was in the sand. She was so obsessed and concerned with medication and mental health. That's what her whole world revolves around. My world revolves around my kids. Her world revolved around that. That's just the truth as I see it. But you are right. There's a very good chance she truly didn't know. He acts as if it never happened. I'm so sorry, Alma, that you went through that. That's bullshit. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is what Stephan's dad said Jenn says right after this interview.
And took it to her, and I didn't get any questioning from her. What are you doing that for? You know, I kind of expected that, but I didn't. Ran to the piece of paper, gave it to Alex, gave him a statement, we left. Took her back, and you know, everything, she's acting just too normal. It doesn't seem, it's acting abnormal because she shouldn't be that way. Her demeanor should be entirely different.
She's acting too normal. Her demeanor should be entirely different. Can somebody please grab me, Tess, will you do me a favor and get the link for the docket? Because this is where I clip this from, and it's only right to share where you get things from, regardless of anything else, right? So please, not that I don't have any problems with anybody. I'm just saying I want to share, even though it's a clip that I took and I'm not playing like sharing YouTube, I still think I should share the video or the channel so other people can watch. I just think that's the only right thing to do. So pretty please, and thank you so much. And I only ask you because I don't want everybody to post it and, you know. Okay, let's keep listening though. Thank you, Tess. The crumbs. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna, let's keep listening. Her demeanor wasn't right.
And then she goes on to tell me that Stephan was sexually frustrated because she and Stephan were not having sex. Her medication changed. She didn't have any interest in sex, and so there was no sexual engagement between the two of them.
So Jenn gets in the car, totally fine, chipper, talkative, whatever. And her first thought is to excuse Stephan by saying that they weren't sexually active. Are you shitting me? Like, come on. Rattlesnakes, no, I think those are those bugs that make that noise. Cray said, this is an interview with Stephan's dad, Chris, and he's describing the conversation he had with Jenn when they left the police station. Why would she talk like that to his dad? I know. She's making excuses for why he's doing what he's doing. PB&J says, I'm a few minutes behind, but I couldn't get to sleep in her disgusting bed either. All right, let's keep listening because there's another clip. It's about 2 minutes long. I want you guys to hear. It's just like directly what he said after this. I had accidentally paused my clip like when I was recording, and then I just kept going. I think it's this one. Yeah.
And figure out what the F is going on. And she texted me and said,
or maybe
get Stephan a lawyer now.
So she texted from the interview room. Maybe it wasn't that, I don't know, but what order it's in, because they sent out of order. But regardless, she texted his dad from the interview room, get Stephan a lawyer now. That's crazy to me. Like, and then, you know, we weren't having sex. My medicine just made it where I wasn't able to have sex. He was really sexually frustrated. Marjorie, actually, this particular interview was not the one that was months later. That interview we just listened to on my channel 2 days ago. But this interview was like right around the time that everything was happening. And in the video, oh my God, there's a hummingbird again, like flying right up to me. That's happened once before when I was live. Sorry, took my attention. So we did go over the other interview, and I know I mentioned the date in that live, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. Get him an lawyer now. Let's play this clip. Play it in full, actually.
She texted me and said, get Stephan a lawyer now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why? And then she says, well, they have found these images on Stephan's phone that there's sex acts between Maddie and Stephan. And I go, like disbelief. We go, okay. And I asked her how long, and she said, 2 years. And she said something to the effect, like he needs a lawyer up.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that was just really weird. And so a few hours later, she kind of comes out of the I'm communicating with her before this, and so I got to go get something to eat, and got to use the restroom. The station's locked up. I can't get in. And
so he's communicating with her. She's in there getting the interview, but the doors are locked. He's waiting for her, but he has to go get something to eat. She's texting. Get him a lawyer now.
And she said, well, they said, go up to a Wawa or something. I said, okay. And the next thing you know, no, they're going to let me out and go to get something to eat. So she comes out, and demeanor is just matter of factly, you know, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm. I played them backwards. Now I realize. So he's first talking about, she texted him from the interview, get Stephan a lawyer now. Now he's at the point where she comes out. Very matter of fact, demeanor is fine.
And we get in the car, and we're talking. We go to get something to eat. And I kept thinking, this is a woman who just learned that her child had been sexually abused for the last 2 years. And she's acting towards me like nothing's happened. Mm-hmm. And it's like another day, another evening out, we're just spending time together. That entire time. And then I take her back to the police station. And then she's done with her interview. The detectives come out and say, hey, we want to talk with you. I said, fine, they come to have a conversation with me. Arrange for her to get in the car to stay with Sailor. And I go up and have my conversation with Alex, and then I go back to the car, and I'm going to take her back home because she needs a ride home. And even her demeanor of coming out with the detectives is just like, everything's fine.
Did she act like that during previous contacts with you guys, whether it be last month, last year? Was it the same kind of interaction?
Yeah. If anything, this is the most interaction I've ever had with her. Mm-hmm. Because when she came here, I never really interacted with her unless we're having.
Okay, so one more time, I'm going to play the next clip, which is what he says directly after. So he's texting with her in the interview room. She says, get him a lawyer. She ends up coming out with a detective. She's totally fine, chipper as can be, whatever. And then.
From her, what are you doing that for? Around and took it to her, and I didn't get any questioning from her. You know, I kind of expected that, but I didn't. Ran to the piece of paper, gave it to Alex, gave him a statement, we left, took her back. And, you know, everything, she's acting just too normal. It doesn't seem, it's acting abnormal because she shouldn't be that way. Her demeanor should be entirely different. And then she goes on to tell me that Stephan was sexually frustrated because she and Stephan were not having sex. Her medication changed. She didn't have any interest in sex, and so there was no sexual engagement between the two of them.
You know what Detective Kevin told her? You keep putting him before your daughter. You are worried about protecting him and not her. And he was so spot on, because the very day we had been waiting to listen to what she did when she saw those pictures, and today we finally got to listen to them. And now going back to this old interview and hearing what she did when she walks out of that interview, I'm upset. I cannot get over this. I am blown away that you have police. Your daughter is missing, okay? She's missing. And police show you a picture of her being sexually abused. Let's not call it anything else, okay? Being sexually abused by your boyfriend or whatever the hell. And you're worried about getting him a lawyer and explaining to people about, how you never had sex anymore. And he was so frustrated. It ain't right, you guys. It's not. And I'm sorry. I really tried to give her a lot of grace. But at this point, I got to be honest with you. This ain't right. It's not cool. It's not acceptable. And unfortunately, guess who paid the price of all this bullshit? Of Jenn with her head in the sand, them being obsessed with medications and everything else. Maddie. Maddie pays the price because you allowed this sick freak to come in and do whatever the fuck he wanted with her. So you know what? If the public is mad at you and you have to hear some hard truths, I'm okay with that, because shame on you. And that's where I'm at. She's setting the stage for why he was assaulting Maddie. Yes, she was. You guys are welcome to feel how you feel. I'm okay to disagree with you. But I got to be honest. And I'm always you guys, I never plan what I'm going to say. I always, I might have something in mind I want to talk about. But I just get on here and keep it real with you guys. And I'm not going to stop. And this is my honest thoughts. Maybe I'll change my mind after I think about this for the next 2 days, because I know it's not going to be able to, I'm not going to get it off my mind. And also I have more things to do as far as going through some of the documents and interviews and stuff. But yeah, that's just where I'm at, y'all. So thank you for being here with me while we go through it. I really appreciate you guys. I know that it can be really tough. I've said this before, but statistics show that more women are sexually abused in one way or another than not. And it probably brings up some really tough stuff for some of you guys. And I'm so sorry for that. And it makes me almost get emotional, but I'm just so sorry for that, because I do think about that. And I know that this is an incredibly emotionally taxing case. It's like we want to know all the details, but they hurt finding them out. And especially had you been through, anything like this before. So just know I appreciate you. I appreciate all of your opinions. I'm so sorry for who this does affect in those ways. And yeah, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for being here with me. Actually, one thing I wanted to show you before we go. Oh, Chica, thank you for joining. Let me see if I can find it. Uh-oh. I wanted to. Wow. I wanted to find this missing case that I wanted to show you guys that really, but I opened Crime Online and I see missing 13-year-old Florida girl found with 38-year-old man 4 hours from home. A man she met online. This is just, it's awful. Protect your babies. Check their phones. Know what they're up to. You need to know. And we should know and care about everything that they're doing, including what they get for their birthday. Carol, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Well, thank you, Natasha. Aw, I love you, Wuffy. All right, let me see here. Well, let's just see if we can. Virginia dad charged with the death of a 1-year-old. We'll get back to coffee and crime next week. But I can't find it. But yeah, we'll get back to covering some unknown cases next week. Also, more with this. And we have some phone calls coming of Letitia Stouts from jail right after she pled not guilty by reason of insanity that we requested months ago. And they're supposed to be here, I think, by today. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm sorry I couldn't show that at the end, but I'll be posting some more unknown cases throughout the day today just because we weren't able to do that. And then, yeah, thank you for everything. I appreciate you guys. Go take a break, a walk, whatever you need. I'm going to do the same. And thank you for everything. Appreciate you so much. Aw, thank you, Lil Red. I'll be sending a care package for Em. She has a special place in my heart. You guys are too good to me. I love and appreciate you. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.